Welcome to the Rinky Dink Bullshit Podcast, episode number 42. With your host, the podcast god, SuperFly, Johnny Lee. And next to me, Joe Hinton, our newest member of the podcast.
Thank you.
Tonight we're going to be checking out some old school wrestling as we got on right now. We got the Royal Rumble from 1992, where Ric Flair won his very first WWF Championship, which, in my opinion, made him the man.
Yes, sir.
It was also a great time, because look at this man. He comes out with poison. Remember, he was showing off this world title that he had, and he couldn't show it up because WCW, they sued him. So he had to stop using it. So they gave him this WWF Tag Team belt. It looked like a WWF Tag Team belt, and he's showing it off every time they had it blurred out.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this is the night where he's going to finally get the championship. Like, up to this point, Ric Flair had held every championship known to man, but he never held the WWF Championship. And what better way to do it than by a Royal Rumble where you had to outlast 29 other men, including the champion himself, Hulk Hogan.
Right now, he just entered the ring with the British Bulldog. British Bulldog just eliminated the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Which was no easy feat because Ted DiBiase was giving him the runner. Oh, look at that. He already bumped him. Ric Flair is already down on his knee.
Trying to tie up with the British Bulldog. You ain't gonna win that one.
Exactly, because that's basically who British Bulldog is. He's a grappler. You try to outlast him, he's gonna take you.
Now he's got Flair over his head, pressed him about 3 times, slammed him.
Yep, that gorilla press slam, man. It was impressive every time he did it. And Ric Flair, every time he takes a bump, if you notice, he does it on one side. Oh, yeah. Always. That always happened after his plane crash they had. Smart man, though, because then it lets you know what was coming. And if you notice, he's wearing black. Now, if he's wearing blue, you would have known that he was losing tonight. But he's wearing black and he's wearing red. So that's a giveaway that he's taking that home, that championship. And there he goes, Classic Flair. He's telling him, no, don't hurt me.
Try to shrug him off. Got 5 seconds till the next competitor comes in.
Exactly, because
Bulldog throws him over, thinks he's got him, turns his back. You don't ever turn your back on Ric Flair.
Yeah, you don't turn your back on him. As soon as you do, he's going to low blow you. That's why they call him the dirtiest player inside the game. Oh, look, it's Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart with Jerry Knobs.
Yep.
From the Nasty Boys.
You know, the Nasty Boys, they're a team that not many people would have given their flowers either.
Oh, man, great heel tag team back in the 90s. Late 80s, early 90s. Great heel tag team.
Sure are, because back then the Nasty Boys had a reputation for being nasty.
Oh, yeah.
And now, look at them. They're double team. He's working with Ric Flair, and they're just beating the hell out of British Bulldog, which is smart.
Got to get the big man.
Yeah, because British Bulldog's a big man. He's strong as hell, too. Strong as an ox. You got to work on him, slow him down, take out the arms, and he won't be able to stop you.
Right, he can pick any one of these men up and just throw them over the rope. So you got to wear him down, tire him out.
Exactly. And right now, they got him down. Ric Flair's got the arm. Oh, Irish whip out of the corner. He goes into the corner. Oh, but he comes out with a big clothesline.
Oh, got him both.
I think they made a critical mistake because they thought that they were doing something. They took a momentary breather to just Irish whip him. Oh, he almost eliminated Jerry.
He holds on.
Yep. But Jerry made a mistake.
He's gone.
Yep, because his back was turned. Like you were saying, shouldn't turn your back on anybody.
Especially in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because if you do, it don't matter how you went over the top rope. If you get eliminated, you get eliminated. Same thing for the women's Royal Rumble. If they get thrown through the middle rope, they're not going to be eliminated. But if they get thrown over that top rope and they hit the apron and they stand up and they just turn their back on someone and they get eliminated, it's over with. And now look, that big old power slam that he just hit Ric Flair with.
Oh, here comes Haku.
Oh, the strongest man that there is. You don't want to meet this man inside Dark Alley. I'm just going to say.
Not unless he's on your side.
Yeah, because otherwise he's going to bite off your nose. Oh, he stopped the hell out of British Bulldog. He completely ignored Ric Flair.
Everybody's going after the Bulldog.
Yep, because if that was me,
Ooh,
that'd be the smartest choice.
And vicious knife-edge chops from Ric Flair.
Classic from the man known as the Nature Boy. And now Ming's going after him.
Yeah, every man's for himself. I gotta remember
Yep.
that.
You can't expect to team up. You may team up for momentarily, but tonight it's all about every man for themselves because y'all are after one goal.
Flair goes under the ropes. Out
That's
to the
smart.
outside,
That's
taking a
smart
breather.
because he's not eliminated.
Nope.
And he can also spend most of the match outside there because they can't say nothing about it.
Right, he can stay all night.
And that's going to be part of the course for Ric Flair tonight. Because that's a smart strategy. No one else in the War Room has ever thought about doing what he was
A
doing.
couple years later, Jerry Lawler would do it. He would hide under
Yep.
the ring for quite a
But
while.
then he made a mistake. Unlike Ric Flair, he made a critical mistake.
Yeah.
Ric Flair was the smarter one, though.
Yes, he was.
Plus, also, you had Hulk Hogan being butthurt about getting eliminated, so that's going to come into play later. And right now, only Ric Flair's standing. Haku is down. I can't believe the man that is strong as hell is on his... Oh, never mind. He's back to his feet. And instead of going out there, Ric Flair, he just gave a super kick.
Super kick to the face.
Yep, I think I saw a tooth fly.
He might have.
Because immediately after that super kick, you saw British Bulldog grab his teeth. So he's checking his face like, oh, God, what's that, tooth?
Yeah, he's making sure all the teeth are still there. His face is still everything where it's supposed to be.
And his dreadlocks are coming out.
Up and over.
Oh, no, he eliminated Haku. Oh, no, the man known as Ming is gone. Well, there goes my pick
Here
to win.
comes Shawn Michaels, a very young
Yep.
Shawn Michaels.
And also the beginning of his singles run. Because this is a year after he super kicked Marty Jannetty inside the face and threw him into the barbershop window.
Yep.
And now he's in there, he's getting his ass beat by Ric Flair. Oh, they're trading chops. Don't want to do that, Shawn.
Got them quick jabs from Shawn Michaels.
Yep. I mean, if that was me, I'd go after the biggest dog too. Because Ric Flair, at this point, is technically the biggest dog because he's a veteran of the sport. And this is also Shawn Michaels' first foray into the singles world. Oh, grill press slap. Oh!
This is when everybody still likes Shawn.
Yep. And also, this is before he had his little cocaine problems.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Oh, there goes Shawn. Oh,
no,
hangs
he
on.
saved himself.
He hangs on.
Super kick. He hit the sweet chin music. A very early version of the sweet chin music. Because I remember he was hitting the teardrop suplex as a finisher.
Yep.
Oh,
Up
Ric
and
Flair's
over,
trying to eliminate
trying
him.
to get him.
Is he going to do it? Nope, because Shawn grabs the eyes and gouges him. Shawn's a very smart man. He's keeping Ric Flair at bay. But he's got his back to the British Bulldog, and that's going to come. Oh, never mind. He turned around.
Very sharp. Very smart.
Yes, it was. Ring awareness right there. Oh, right. Oh, he almost went for the Ric Flair corner bump. If you notice, he kind of messed up on his Ric Flair corner bump because he tried to get up and over, but he couldn't get the agileness.
See, don't try it on TV until you can do it.
Exactly, and also,
Practice it.
it's the worst thing to try to do inside Royal Rumble because that bump usually ends with you going to the outside onto the floor.
Yep.
Oh, Shawn Michaels almost got eliminated again by Ric Flair, but this time he saved himself.
Tito.
Yep, Tito Santana. This is the one he was still active wrestling.
Now this is El Matador. This is how I know him.
Yep, and now he's fighting Ric Flair right now. Meanwhile, Shawn Michaels choking British Bulldog, who's laying on the mat. Oh, he's trying to eliminate Ric Flair, but Tito, you got to remember, you got to get him up over to the floor.
He's trying.
Oh, but then Shawn Michaels couldn't stop it.
I never understood that. Why stop him? He's trying to eliminate a guy.
I think because
That's
Shawn
the name of the
Michaels
game.
wasn't smart. I think that he's like, oh, you trying to eliminate him? Sorry, I can't let you do that. El Matador is right now dealing with Shawn Michaels trying to eliminate him. Now British Bulldog's on the attack. He comes up behind. Oh, now they're working together. Oh, now Ric Flair attacks Tito. Now, back suplex on Tito.
British Bulldog's working on Shawn, trying to get him over.
Exactly. We got a lot of action going on right now. Oh, look at this. Ric Flair got him. I think Ric Flair was going to low blow him because he crawled over like he would it when he does the dirty. Right here it goes. Oh, the low blow just got hit.
There it is.
Oh,
Tito hit one.
Yeah, on Shawn Michaels. We just saw a double blow a low blow from both men. Oh, now he's going to try to eliminate Shawn Michaels. Oh, Shawn Michaels staggers out. Once again, head to the corner. And meanwhile, Ric Flair's trying to eliminate the British Bulldog. But Tito stops it.
See, once again, I never understood why they do that.
What are you doing, Tito? You should let him eliminate him. Or at least help him eliminate him. Oh, nice. Nice. He comes off with a jumping forearm. Takes him right off his feet. Ric Flair is the biggest guy here. You got to take him out because he's a veteran. He knows every which way to get that championship. Oh, here it comes. The biggest guy.
Ooh, Barbarian.
Yep. And Barbarian was Haku's tag team partner.
Yep.
Which, again, they teamed up again in WCW.
Yep, the Faces of Fear.
Yep. And now, Barbarian's going for a British Bulldog. He's over there all by his lonesome. Meanwhile, Ric Flair, El Matador, and HBK are right now dealing with each other. Smart on their part because the Barbarian's a big guy.
Yeah.
Only go and deal with him if you see someone's trying to eliminate them. Then you can try to help them out. And right now, while Barbarian's trying to eliminate British Bulldog, Ric Flair's beating the hell out of British Bulldog's head, and he's trying to help Barbarian eliminate him. But British Bulldog's hanging on. He's not going to let it happen. Oh, he's almost out. 1 foot's out. Barbarian's just clubbing his rib cage. Meanwhile, Ric Flair's got a hold of the hair, and they let go. Meanwhile, Barbarian's still on British Bulldog, but Ric Flair, he just said, nope, I'll go after HBK. He took a knee to the lower back of HBK. That's going to come into play. Now, El Matador and Ric Flair are trading. El Matador got the bear of that exchange. Nice low kick right there. This is how you tell a story, though. I mean, this entire Royal Rumble was all about building who was going to be the champion.
And this is, Royal Rumble is not an easy setting to tell a story.
It sure ain't.
You got a lot of bodies, a lot of moving parts. Everybody's doing their own thing, but they all got to get to the same end.
Yep, and you know, 30 years after this event, they tried to again do the World Championship be defended in a Royal Rumble match.
Yeah. With
Roman Reigns, and who won that match? Triple H. The difference between that and Ric Flair is that the story was Ric Flair was an outsider that came into WWF, and he was claiming himself to be the real world's champion.
Real.
And Hulk Hogan was champion at the time, and he could have lost his title at any point to any one of these people, and he could have been eliminated early on. And what did we see? We saw Hulk Hogan get dumped out.
Yeah.
And who did he stop? He starts the feud immediately with Sid Justice, just got eliminated.
Yeah.
That's perfect storytelling because Ric Flair was going to win the title. And look at this. Ultimate Warrior is taking it to HBK right now. No, that's not Ultimate Warrior. That's
Texas Tornado.
Terry Von Erich, Texas Tornado. Damn. And no one at the time knew that he had an amputated foot.
No, I didn't learn that till, probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah. It was a shocking turn of events when we all found out that he had an amputated foot because he didn't look like it. He didn't give any indication that he was having no foot there.
No.
And he has a prosthetic foot inside that boot right now. But he looks good at the time.
Oh, man. Phenomenal.
He's who a lot of people said could have been world champion had he had both of his feet. But that motorcycle accident they suffered a few years prior to joining WWF, that kind of screwed up his career. Because he was no longer the Texas Tornado that we knew before. Like, he was one of the best Von Erich brothers to ever come out of Texas.
Yes.
Kevin Von Erich may be good, but Kerry was on a whole nother level. And when we saw him in WWF, he was good, but he wasn't at the level that he was before.
He didn't have his confidence after that accident.
Yep. And even though he held the Intercontinental Championship, it was just a step below the WWF Championship. Oh, Repo Man, a.k.a.
Man.
former Demolition Man.
Yeah, Barry Darso.
Yep. Coming out I think he wants to repo someone. Who's he going to repo? Instead of getting inside the ring, he's looking for... I think he was going to repo that referee just now. Now, everyone else is dealing with each other. Repo Man slivers in. Oh, and it goes right for HBK. Smart man. Go after the youngest one inside the ring. Meanwhile, Ric Flair's trying to eliminate the British Bulldog. Barbarian's going after Tito Santana. Oh, Tito takes him off his feet with a nice crossbody. Meanwhile, British Bulldog is fighting for his life not to be eliminated. Texas Tornadoes right now against the ropes. It's a sad when you stop to think that Kerry Von Erich finally makes it to the WF, and it's only after the whole accident and also losing his brothers.
Yeah.
It's a what if situation. What could have been if none of that happened and Kerry Von Erich was at the top of his game? We would have probably been looking at a whole different WWF at the time.
Yeah. Well, they would have had to break away from Fritz.
Yeah.
Fritz had his thumb on everything.
Yeah, he did. And Fritz was kind of like a condescending control freak, too.
Yeah.
Like, his sons had to abide by his rules.
Exactly.
And even when Kerry was in WWF, he wanted to enforce his rule that you better be bringing home that WWF championship to us.
Yeah.
A.K.A. meaning to me.
Right.
Like he even treated the fact that he didn't win the NWA championship, telling him, you need to win that title so you can bring it home to me. But here's the thing, he didn't win the title. It was Kevin Von Erich that won the title.
Yep.
And also Kerry. No, it was Kerry that won it. Kevin should have won it. But Kevin was also Texas champion, which is also kind of good. But I think that Kevin should have won the title, then Kerry. But guess what? He chose Kerry.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because he saw Kerry as a guy that should be Chris Von Erich's circuit. And I think that's a big issue right there. Because Kerry Von Erich was the best Von Erich.
Yeah.
But you can't deny that Kevin was also just as good. It's just that he wasn't good at promos.
Right.
And before that, David Von Erich was going to be the best. But he died before all of them.
Yep. Tragic, man.
Yep. And it's so good seeing them here, but at the same time, it's very sweet because Kerry Von Erich, we know, ends up taking his life just a couple years later.
Yep.
But right now, him and Tito Santana are working over Barbarian inside the corner, which is smart strategy because you want to keep the biggest man inside the ring right now off his game. Oh, HK almost fell out. But if you notice, Rich Bulldog saved him. He knows that he was about to slip out, which is smart. That's ring awareness. And right now you got Ric Flair dealing with Repo Man. I guess he should have stayed Demolition. You know, I would never understand why they changed his gimmick to Repo Man. I guess because Rich Man got tired of him and wanted to put Crush with him.
Yeah, I guess Vince just has this book, a notebook or something of just all these gimmicks he comes up with.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you just step into his office, he just flips to a page. Okay, you're the Repo Man.
Yep. Oh, look at this. Look at who's out here.
You're the gobbledygooker.
Look at that. We got him.
Nikolai Volkov.
Yep. And he's taking it to Repo Man. And now he's taking it to... Nope, wait. He ain't taking it... Oh, now he's taking it to the biggest man. Going for the Barbarian. And look, we got the Hammer out there as well. Taking it to Ric Flair. Along with Kerry. I will say that this is like a who's of wrestling right now. This entire Royal Rumble is stacked with talent. The saddest thing is that, even though it's stacked with talent, we know that we're going to lose half of these men.
Yeah.
And right now, Nikolai is taking it to Repo Man. Oh, no, man, he's dealing with Barbarian grabbing his arms and allowing Repo Man to attack. And Repo Man's a big guy, too. In fact, all three of those men look huge.
Everybody in this ring is just stacked. I think Flair's the smallest guy.
Yep. Oh, and he's got Kerry Von Erich inside the figure four as well. No, he's got the Hammer inside the figure four. My bad. Greg, the Hammer Valentine, just felt Ric Flair's figure four. Imagine that. Now, Kerry Von Erich's working on the Barbarian, and if you notice, Barbarian is the biggest guy, but he's been getting worn out by every one of these guys.
Oh, that's the strategy, man. You got to tire these guys out so they're less of a threat.
Especially if it's Barbarian, because Barbarian is Ming's other half.
Yeah.
And now you got Kerry Von Erich trying to eliminate him. But can he get the big man out?
Here comes
Big Boss Man. Ray Taylor. I think that his best run was in 1999 when he returned as the Big Boss Man.
When he returned?
Yep, when he had the SWAT gear on and he played into the heel tactics. My favorite part is when he hooks the chain to the casket and he's talking all that shit and he drives off with Big Show on top of the casket trying to save it. That's something that I could say Big Boss Man was all about. He came back in 1999.
Yeah.
He showed that he was willing to put his all into that gimmick.
Yeah, he was. In his feud with Al Snow, making Al Snow eat the dog.
Yep, making him eat pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
There goes Repo Man.
He's gone. Thanks to Big Boss Man. And look, he's doing his. He's like, I didn't get to Repo shit this match. Oh, look. El Matadors. Right now working with. Oh, never mind, because now British Bulldog comes after Ric Flair, and Ric Flair just like, fuck you, I'm going to knife edge chop this son of a bitch first. El Matador. I think that's who Primo and Carlito,
Epico.
Yeah, Epico were inspired by when they were doing the Matador gimmick.
Yeah, definitely.
Was Tito Santana.
Oh, British Bulldog.
Oh, he's gone.
Over.
Ric Flair eliminated him. Remember, Ric Flair's number 3. He came in at that number. And he just eliminated number 1. And now he eliminated Kerry Von Erich. Tex Tornado's gone. That's 2 for 2. And now HBK's taking it to El Matador. But see, they got to understand they need to get rid of the 2 biggest men.
Yep.
And that would be Barbarian and Big Boss Man.
But right now, you just let them tire each other out.
Yeah. Oh,
HBK
there you go.
And Tito and Tanner just eliminated each other at the same time.
Yep, they're gone. Both of them are gone.
I think this is Hercules. No, who is this?
I'm trying. It says, it's Power and Glory. One of their men. I'm trying to remember his name.
Is that Hercules?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Hercules. Because remember, he was part of Power and Glory.
Yep.
They had that sweet ass finisher that they do, the suplex plus the splash.
That's right.
And right now he's going for the biggest man, Big Boss Man right now. Meanwhile, Ric Flair's made a mistake, and he just pissed off the Barbarian. And if you notice, my boy Hercules was like, fuck him, I'm going to just walk between them. He's going for the biggest other man, Ray Taylor. Barbarian is just stalking this man, Ric Flair. Ric Flair has no chance. And Big Boss Man is getting his head rung on those turnbuckle pads.
Barbarian scoops over Ric Flair, tries to dump him over.
Oh, smart man. He got rid of Barbarian. Oh, but then he made a mistake. Oh, we almost saw Big Boss Man eliminate himself as well. So now it's just Big Boss Man and Ric Flair side of the ring. Oh, there we go. Darius playing side game. We're using his old tricks.
Yep, gotta watch out for Flair. He's quick.
That's right. Oh, big clothesline. Takes Ric Flair off his feet. Oh, block that punch. Wow, did he just throw a kick that Ric Flair dodged? Damn, Big Boss Man, I didn't know your game.
Oh, did Boss Man eliminate himself?
Yep, he did because Ric Flair ducked and Big Boss Man hit the rope and he went right over it.
He tried to come out with a crossbody and hit nothing but rope.
Oh, there it is, the Flair bump. And that Flair's going to take a moment to breathe.
The Flair flop.
Oh, he's going to get out of there some way. He's going to find some way to get out of there and wait for them to beat each other's asses. Because that's what you got to do if you're going to go for the world title, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to face yourself. You got to come up with a lot of different strategies. Here comes Piper.
Yep, here he comes. Piper and Ric Flair are no strangers to each other either.
No, not at all. And they're about to get it on, and Piper's
There
excited.
you go. He's exploding on him. Ric Flair was trying to beg him off, but Piper's coming in hot, beating the hair out of him.
That's why you call him Hot Rod right there.
Yep. Irish whip, back body drop. Oh, and a nice kitchen sink knee tumbler. Oh, and Ric Flair goes outside the bottom rope. He's not eliminated.
No, through the middle rope.
And Ric Flair, Brad Piper's also smart. He went to the middle rope.
They're fighting on the outside, but they're still both in the match.
Yeah, that's right. And you see, the rules are the only way to be eliminated is to go over the top rope so they can go outside the ropes as long as they don't go over that top.
Yeah.
And look at that. Ric Flair just tried to do something. And Ric Flair's like, what the fuck you trying to do? Oh. Ric Flair cannot catch a break. Ric Flair's getting the 10 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, but he got out of it. Oh, atomic drop. Oh, but he got punked inside the eye. It's counter after counter right now between these two. And we still ain't got the next entrant.
We're not even halfway through this Rumble.
We ain't. Because this Rumble was one of the best storytelling mechanics that they ever used. Because Ric Flair was the only man that they could put that title on. Hulk Hogan may have held the title, but the biggest story was this man, Ric Flair, coming in from WCW, entering that ring, and finally, after so long of calling himself the real world's champion, proving without a shadow of doubt that he was, in fact, the real, undisputed WWF champion. And it couldn't have happened at a better time. Oh, here we go. Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake's coming for that title, too. Jake ain't never held a WWF championship.
No. I don't even think he had an IC run.
I don't know if he did either.
I can't remember.
Oh, look at that. He's going to sit inside corner and let them wear each other down.
Yep.
He's smart. As long as they wear each other down, he has a chance to pick the bones clean.
I've been listening to Jake Roberts' podcast recently, man. He's got some interesting stories.
Hell yeah. You know he's got to have some.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ric Flair's, Jake Snake Roberts is one of those guys that's been around the block. Not only that, but he's had an interesting life as well.
Oh, yeah. He's been down the road.
Yep. And right here, look at this. He already took out Piper. Now he's focusing on Ric Flair.
There's that short arm clothesline.
This is a smart man, though, because he let them beat each other's ass down. And then he picked the bones clean by coming up and attacking both of them separately. See, Ric Flair was the dirtiest player of the game for a reason. Ric Flair didn't care how he had to win. But there was a big old clothesline by
Looked like
Roddy
Jake was
Piper.
setting up the DDT, and Piper stopped him.
Yep. Oh, here it goes. The figure four. Oh, the figure four. And look, Jake the Snake was already trying to turn it into the reverse. Oh, now Roddy Piper's just beating the hell out of both of them. Roddy Piper's like, y'all can't do that. I'm going to take both of y'all's asses. Oh, look at that. He's doing the short arm jabs. And now, look at that. Teaming up together. Got him with a knife edge chop. This was classic storytelling, though.
Yeah.
Because this is during the time when you felt like Hulk Hogan was finally waning down. They were looking to the future. Something they hadn't done since 1990's WrestleMania 6 with the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
When that fizzled, who else but to put it back on the Hulk Hogan?
Right.
Then they put it on to Bret Hart. But then they had Yokozuna win it.
And had to put it right back on Hogan.
Yep. And it's funny because all that happened inside a span of just a few years. Then finally, they put it back on Bret Hart. And they ran with that until they finally saw that they had HBK.
Well, no. First they put it back on
Yoko.
No. After Yoko, Backlund came back.
Yeah.
And I never understood that. Backlund coming back
Yep.
to reclaim the championship 10 years later.
Yep. Off of Diesel.
No, he beat Brett. He beat
Brett
he beat Brett. Towel match.
Now I remember.
Yeah. But before that, I've never heard of Backlund. At the time, no kid ever heard of Backlund. Here and Vince is promoting this whole new generation. But here comes Backlund, reclaiming the title from 10 years prior.
Yeah.
He lost the title the year I was born. Nobody cared about Backlund. I never understood bringing him back.
And then he got squashed by Diesel.
Yeah, and then squashed him in a house match.
Yeah. And that was one of the most weirdest times because then Bob Backlund changed characters because before that, Bob Backlund was not even crazy.
Right.
Then he returns to WWF inside the early 90s. Now he's being crazy.
Yeah.
And that was in 1994 because then Diesel would squash him with the jackknife powerbomb, become champion. Him and HBK would enter a feud.
Yep.
And the rest was history. Because then you had no Hulk Hogan's, you had no Ultimate Warriors. You had Bret Hart, Diesel, and HBK, Razor Ramon,
Yep.
and a few other young guys that carried the torch. Oh, here he comes, IRS.
Irwin R. Shyster.
Yep, Bray Wyatt's daddy. R.I.P. to Bray Wyatt.
R.I.P.
We lost him last year.
Yep.
Time flies. And now Ric Flair's trying to eliminate Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, but IRS took care of it. Ric Flair.
IRS backed away from Hacksaw real quick.
Yes, he did.
But Hacksaw...
Ho! Oh, he's got the time. He's just punching him. This is a classic, though.
Oh, yeah.
This entire Royal Rumble not only has a good storyline going on, but you got the classic storytelling mechanics of all their characters meshing well together. Oh, he's trying to eliminate Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, no, that's Roddy Piper. My bad. But Hacksaw just took their heads and bumped them into each other.
They're both pulling their boot tied.
And now he's saving Roddy Piper by attacking IRS. Now, Jake Roberts has Hacksaw by the hair and the head. This whole match is just who can win that title. And Hulk Hogan's not yet entered the match. He's the current world champion.
Yeah.
Wishbone. Oh,
They messed that up.
yep, they messed it up. Usually the wishbone's done in sync. I don't think think either one of them knew what they wanted to do to him.
No.
Now, punch, slap. Oh, yeah. Hacksaw Jim Duggan's taking it to IRS right now. This whole match, he's trying to let Ric Flair, Roddy Piper is. Hey, I got to give Ric Flair props so far. He's been inside this match longer than 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Now, who's next?
Oh, Snuka.
Yep, Jimmy Snuka.
Snuka.
The very first guy at WrestleMania to be beaten by The Undertaker with the tombstone pile driver to the outside. And now he's getting inside. Oh, and look at that. Ric Flair's having a bad day. He's getting bounced on the ropes. And he's taking it to Ric Flair now. Oh, jumping headbutt to Ric Flair. The good thing about Jimmy Snuka here is that this was during the time when WWF was starting to gear towards younger guys.
Yeah, it's just before the new generation era I was just talking about. I think that popped off around 91, 92.
Yep. And it made sense for Ric Flair to hold the title at this time. And look at that. Now Jake Roberts getting his arms held. And Jimmy Snuka chopped him. Oh, I poked to Jimmy Snuka by Ric Flair. Storytelling at its best because Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, the dirtiest player game, you know that all his tactics, that he's eventually going to eye poke, hit him inside the dick, do the crotch grab, the eye gouge, probably get a weapon, or do no, don't do it.
Yep.
That's his storytelling. Then you got Roddy Piper, classic promo guy. And look at this, he tried to eliminate Ric Flair.
Roddy Piper's 100 miles an hour from bell to bell. That's just why they call him Hot Rod.
Exactly. And this whole match is just one big storytelling. Because you got all these guys, they all have history together. At this point, Ric Flair is the guy that they need to get out of there. Because he's the one that's been claimed that he's the real world's champion.
Yep. He came in from the WCW, NWA.
The Undertaker. Great Glove era. This is before he ever becomes Purple Glove.
Yep.
Fun fact, he never won a Royal Rumble until 2007.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It was his very first Royal Rumble winning was 2007. And it set up the WrestleMania matches that we got between HBK and Undertaker.
Okay.
Because the last two of that match was Undertaker and HBK. They were both laid out. They both kept up with the Undertaker sitting up. Mm-hmm. And then for the last 30 minutes, it was just one singles match until finally Undertaker eliminated him. But before that, he never won a single Royal Rumble. He made all those appearances, but he always got eliminated. And now he's choking out Ric Flair. I bet they wish that it was Ric Flair that he took the title off of back in 1991.
Right.
Because we know how that ended with Hulk Hogan crying about, "Oh, brother, you held me too tight, brother.
You got my
tripped my neck." Yeah, because
and Taker believed him at first. Taker, and then, shit, he thought he was gonna get fired. He's like, damn, I heard Hogan. Hogan's the top guy. Vince is gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah, because Taker's humble. Taker's the kind of guy that you want work for your company because he's the kind of guy that's gonna be a company man.
Yep.
And to have the biggest star of the '80s basically say that you didn't take care of him. That was the biggest thing that you did not want to hear.
And this is after that, when he actually did spike Coco.
Yeah.
When he first debuted in the Survivor Series, he really did drop Coco on his head.
With the original Tombstone Pile Driver. When he hooked the arm but not the other arm, and he drive him down hard. Then that's when he adjusted to the new version of the Tombstone Pile Driver.
So when Hogan said that, it got to him.
Oh, look. Ray Savage grabbed for Undertaker's legs. He's smart. Got to take the dead man off his feet. But here's the thing. This dead man ain't going to move. But see, Undertaker was the right man to win that title.
Yeah.
But he got screwed over because Hulk Hogan complained and that ended up putting the title back on Hogan. Yeah. Undertaker could have been the beginning of the young guys holding the WWF Championship, but as we know, 1991, Hogan still held the title. Even Bret Hart and Yokozuna held the title, and what happened?
Yeah.
Freaking Hogan comes out and he wins it again. Even though I like Hogan, there were some things they did that was questionable near the end of his WWF run, the first run.
Yeah.
And look, now Jake Snake Robertson and Randy Savage are both. Oh, the Undertaker's gone too. No, actually, Undertaker came out to the middle rope, so he's still inside there. Oh, this is also during time when Undertaker was still buddy with Jake Snake Roberts, because they're setting up for the WrestleMania match.
They had a little tag team for a little minute.
Yep, and Jimmy Snuka was the first person to lose to Undertaker at WrestleMania. Yep. And now, Ray Savage goes out there him again.
This is how you tell the story of the feud outside of this match. They don't even care about the Rumble.
Exactly.
They care about getting to each other, rip each other apart from what happened previous to this.
Exactly, because you remember, Macho Man had his arm bitten, gets his arm bitten by a snake here soon, and that kicks off Undertaker versus Jake the Snake Roberts, because Undertaker ends up saving Macho Man.
Yep.
And right now, Ric Flair's up on the corner. Roddy Piper's still inside this thing too, but the longest one is still Ric Flair. Oh, look at that. Comes right for Undertaker. And Undertaker actually had facial reconstruction after the orbital bone break.
Yep.
If you look at him here and then you look at him now, you can tell a slight difference inside the face.
Oh yeah.
And that was when he was got his face broken by Mabel.
Well, he's had it broken twice.
Yep.
Once by Mabel and once, ironically, by Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yep.
One of the first time by one of the biggest men, second time by one of the smallest men.
Yep. I mean, if it couldn't have happened to a better guy, because you know that he wouldn't have bitched or complained.
Nah.
Because Undertaker's one of those old school guys that could handle it. I mean, look at that. Low blows him, and Undertaker barely reacts. He just does a head back and then staggers off for a little bit. And then he's momentarily stunned. The dead man can feel only a little bit between the legs. And now who's coming out?
Big John Nord, the Berserker.
Yep, the Berserker. A character who would be phased out sometime between 1993 and 1994.
Yeah, he had a feud with Taker, and that was about it for him.
Yep. And then they didn't do anything with him.
No.
A lot of guys that they brought in to fight Taker were created by them specifically for a match with Taker.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't do anything with him. Kane was the rare exception.
Right.
Because the Undertaker
Mankind,
used to
Kane.
go by Kane.
Yeah.
Undertaker's debut, he was called Kane the Undertaker. And then years later, about 7 years later, is when they said, we need someone to fight Undertaker for WrestleMania 14. I got an idea. Kane!
Yep.
And they changed the name to Kane because Undertaker was Cain, like Cain and Abel.
Right.
And he's still inside this match, and he's taking it right now to Roddy Piper. And right now, Ric Flair's inside basketball because he's on the apron. If someone had tried to eliminate him, it would have worked.
All right, man. All he's got to do is just slip the wrong way, and he's gone. This is a very
Yep.
dangerous spot.
Because he's chosen to put himself on the apron instead of being inside the ring. There we go. Macho Man brought him back to the ring with his suplex. Oh, and right down goes the Undertaker with the throat thrust. And now a darkness choke. Oh, look. Look at that.
Double choke.
Roddy Piper's choking with him. For a moment. Now Undertaker's choking him. Undertaker's got 2 chokes on.
It's a 3-way choke, man. This is
Yes,
how
it
you
is.
do it.
This is how you tell a story. And right now, Berserker's taking it to Macho Man Randy Savage up there, side corner. Now, look, he's choking him too. Oh, he tried to throw him out. And he's held for choke slamming them.
Anybody booking a triple threat should pay attention to this. Because the general thinking is you got to eliminate one guy.
Yeah.
You know, knock him out, throw him outside, so it's a normal one-on-one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you watch 3 guys can go at it back and forth. You don't have to eliminate one off the bat.
Exactly, because all it is pacing. Oh, look, we got Berger out here. Of course, he's going to be a world champion.
Oh, yeah. Hall of Famer right there, right?
Also, the greatest NWO member ever.
Yep.
And right now, Undertaker's doing the darkness choke on the top rope. But Randy Savage came over there and stopped it, pulled him down. See, if I was there, I was trying to get rid of the Undertaker. Because he's clearly the biggest man now inside the ring because he's 6'10".
Yeah. Get rid of the
Oh,
Undertaker.
he's got a hold of Virgil with a choke again. And now, Darius plays that game, breaks the eyes. But here's the thing, you can't break a dead man's eyes. He can still see. Oh, knife edge chopped to the Undertaker. Oh, now Undertaker's got him by the throat. The dead man is just choking these men. He is just choking these men like they're kinky. Oh, he's got him down to one knee. One knee right now on Ric Flair. Oh, now he's going to try to eliminate him. Can he do it? Can Taker win his second championship? Can he do it by eliminating Ric Flair? And the Berserkers right now working over Big John. Oh, they're trying to eliminate each other. Hacksaw Jim Duggan better do something.
Hacksaw's fighting back.
And there goes Flair on the apron. This is something that a lot of modern wrestling should pay attention to because you can still have multiple men fighting each other inside the ring.
Yeah.
It's all about pacing. You got to time it for when it's allowed to have them all fighting each other at the same time.
And you have to have the confidence to do it.
Exactly. Oh, like the Bushwhackers.
No. That is,
what the hell were they doing the Bushwhackers thing?
I don't know, but that's Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik.
With Agnon.
Iron Sheik, stop stealing the Bushwhackers thing. I bet they saw that and it got stuck to his head. And he's wearing American G.I. Joe colors. Let's not forget that was the man that kicked off the WWF beginning because he was the champion at the time.
Yep.
Everyone wants to give Hulk Hogan his props, but they gotta give Iron Sheik his props for being the best heel going in.
Hogan had to have someone to beat.
That's right. And Iron Sheik was the best heel that they could have had.
Yep.
And right now he's working with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, a.k.a. Mr. USA. Oh, he's choking him, grabbing him by the beard. Oh, Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper's almost out. Roddy Piper's been here a long time, too. That's how you know a good storytelling's being told.
Yep. You got to have endurance for this.
Yep. And there's no Hulk Hogan yet. Hulk Hogan's the champion during this match. And there's no Sid Vicious yet.
Right.
A.k.a. Sid Justice. And right now, Undertaker's just standing there, watching, waiting, doing his slow walk towards Roddy Piper. He waited for him to look at him. Oh, Randy Savage comes up from behind and starts attacking Undertaker and Ric Flair. That's what you call isolate the man that you want to take out. Any of these men could be the champion, except Virgil.
What are you talking about? Virgil's the only one in this ring who could be champion.
I mean, he is a tall guy. None of these guys are taller than him. They're all small. Oh, who's this that's out?
Martel.
Yep. Oh, the model. Rick Martel. He could have been champion.
He could have.
But that damn Virgil right there. Damn. Virgil's going to win this Rumble.
He would have been champ. Vince just didn't believe in a black champ at the time.
That's true. Because Vince McMahon's a dumbass. But the fun thing is that Ron Simmons became the first black WCW champion.
Yep.
It took well over 3 decades before we saw an official first ever black WWE champion in Kofi Kingston. The Rock don't count because he's part Samoan, part black. Kofi Kingston's full on black. So he's the first ever black champion.
There you go.
And then second one was Bobby Lashley. And finally, Big E was the third one to finish the trifecta. And now we got other ones that could become champion too. It all depends on who they're going to book right. Montez Ford could be a champion.
Oh, yeah. He's a great talent.
Oh, he is. A lot of us are saying that if he goes single, you're going to see him become a breakout star. Right now, Ric Flair's on that rope. That's smart. It helps keep the mob from eliminating you. See, this match, I will still say, was Ric Flair's greatest match ever because he had to outlast all 29 men, and this was a long Rumble, too.
Yep.
And people will say, oh, he spent most of his time outside the ring. Well, wouldn't you? Because
and people were going after him. He wasn't out there alone.
Exactly. He was out there most of the match to keep himself fresh. And he was smart.
I would, put me in a Royal Rumble, and I'm not getting in the ring.
Exactly. Because it's a smart strategy.
I'm going to sit down and next to the commentators.
It's, here he comes, Hulk Hogan, the world champion at this time. Mr. Hogan. Virgil's going to eliminate him. Watch this. Virgil's going to eliminate him and
Virgil's about
become
to clean house.
The greatest WWF champion there ever was. Oh, look, he goes right for it. See, babyface my ass, he went right for it, Ric Flair, to gouge his eyes.
Yep.
Oh, look, now he gouged Undertaker's eyes.
Oh, Hogan
what kind of baby? Yeah, look at this.
Hogan always had heel tactics. I mean, remember he had the helmet with a fist on it, headbutting everybody.
Yep.
I mean,
what kind of babyface does that?
Right.
Apparently Hulk Hogan. Because the rules don't say that Hulk Hogan can't do it.
Hulk Hogan do whatever he wants.
Yep. And now, Undertaker and Berserker and IRS are working over Hulk Hogan. That's smart. Take out the big dog. Take out the man that is the current champion. He gets eliminated. He ain't walking away with the championship. Now watch. Now, look at that. He's trying to eliminate the Undertaker. Oh, no.
Clothesline. Oh, he does it.
Fun fact, the Undertaker has never landed off of his feet when he goes down south. The only time they did was when Maven did a drop kick that sent him to the outside, and he fell onto his knees real quick, and then got up to his feet. That's the only time he's ever, when he gets knocked out of the ring, landed not on his feet. He's one of those guys that could do it at 6 foot. Kane's another one that could have done it. Kane had that
he had that
style.
Yeah, he had that backwards over the top.
Yep.
Over the rope exit.
That's a really good one, too. Oh.
Skinner.
Yep, Skinner's out here now. We got some old school names going on right now. Old school mentality. Meanwhile, Hulk Hogan's just focused on Ric Flair. What is with Hulk Hogan and his biasness towards Ric Flair? Look at him. Oh, look at RS comes over like, nope, you ain't doing that. Oh, look. He's got Hulk Hogan's shirt on his neck. I bet Hulk Hogan threw his shirt at him. They wrapped around his neck, and RS been fighting with that shirt the whole time. Oh, look. Let's see that. He grabbed the shirt, and he threw RS around.
Yep.
Babyface my ass, Hulk Hogan.
Grabbing hair, headbutting from behind. Hogan's a heel.
Yeah, he's definitely a heel because no babyface acts like that. Oh, Skinner comes for him. Skinner's giving us a taste of his own medicine. This match is now exposed Hulk Hogan as the biggest heel that we've ever known. I bet that he was the reason why Iron Sheik's not out there now. He used his mind power to get rid of Iron Sheik so he didn't have to do it later.
Yep. Where's
Virgil, the world champion? Oh, I bet that he's hiding out there somewhere. Oh, he got eliminated. Never mind. Oh, look, Roddy Piper's still out here, too. That's endurance right there. See, this is a long-ass rumble. The key to winning the rumble is that you have to understand that you're going to be out there for a long time. You got to take your chance to go outside that ring, not over the rope, but underneath that bottom rope, catch a breather for a moment, and then come back in there and do your work. But Roddy Piper ain't done that. He's been on fire. Oh, here comes Sergeant Slaughter, the other USA guy. Where's Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Oh, he got eliminated.
Been eliminated.
Well, I guess Mr. USA doesn't get to cheer on Sergeant Slaughter. Look, Corporal Kirchner ain't here. No, I wonder why.
No, he's out of the WWF at this point.
Yep, because he realized that the better USA guy, Corporal, got beaten by the Sergeant. And now he's taking on Ric Flair because, you know, what they say, sergeants don't like nature boys.
Right.
They're too cocky, too arrogant. They're not up to snuff for a sergeant's boot camp. And he was calling him a maggot, and he wasn't responding to it. Right now, he's trying to get rid of that maggot so he doesn't have to deal with him later. I mean, it's smart. Get rid of him, and he won't become a champion. Yep. But if I was them, I'd take out Hulk Hogan because he's the current champion. If you eliminate him, it's smooth sailing from there because anyone can be champion.
Right.
And oh no, RS is about to get eliminated. Nope. Now it's Macho Man about to get eliminated. Dang. Oh, here comes Sid Justice.
Sid.
We're winding down to the finals.
R.I.P. Sid.
Yep. Big old Sid. The master and the rule of the universe.
Master of the power bomb.
That's right. Him and Vader had the best power bombs in my opinion. Because when they do it, it looked like they did and they were trying to kill a man.
You know, I was always a fan of Kevin Nash's jackknife. And when Taker came out with his, the last ride, hoisting him up with that extra height, man.
That's a good one, too. That's the elevated power bomb, where you want to put extra oomph on it. A lot of people don't like it for some reason, but it was actually a pretty good one because you're elevating them to the sky before you drop them down.
Yeah.
And the jackknife power bomb, you don't even have to get them up all the way. You just pick them up and then releasing their ass to the mat. That was a good power bomb, too. And right now, Ric Flair's working over Hulk Hogan. Remember, anyone that eliminates Hulk Hogan, he ain't becoming champion tonight.
Right.
He's the current champion, but if he loses, gets thrown out, any of the other guys will be champion. And right now, Sid Justice is taking it to Ric Flair inside the corner. Sid Justice is smart. but not smart enough to powerbomb a man over the ropes.
No. And
I will never forget what WCW did, though. For that WCW pay-per-view, where they told him, go up to the middle rope.
Oh,
and it was John Laurinaitis told him to do that.
Of course.
And when he jumped off, it snapped his leg in two. And we didn't see Sid Vicious ring for a long time.
And see, that's what I was talking about yesterday with having your moveset fit your personality. Top rope moves, second rope moves don't fit Sid's personality.
Exactly.
He has no business going on the rope.
Like Sid told John Laurinaitis, he told them, I'm not a top rope guy. Right. And they said that they wanted to see him do a top rope move. And they basically backed him into a corner. And when he did it, that was his first time doing a middle rope move.
Yeah.
And he chose to do a middle rope big boot. And when he came down, that other leg that was outstretched, it broke. And John Laurinaitis wouldn't give a shit. Oh, see, neither of them are eliminated because they went outside the bottom rope.
Yeah.
And right now, they're taking it. See, this is how Ric Flair's going to survive. See, Hulk Hogan thinks that he's punishing the man. But Ric Flair's going to outlast this man.
Yep. As long as he's out.
Oh, Sarge's gone. Sid Vicious just threw the man into the corner and he went over the top rope to the outside.
Showing the power of
exactly. Plus, you got two big men inside the ring right now. You got Sid Justice, and then you got the man that Randy Savage is working with right now.
That's the Warlock.
Yep. And the Warlock was someone that a lot of people don't remember back then.
No, but I remember him well. He was a great heel.
Yes, he was.
He was a big, big man.
Yes, he was. He's one of those guys that you could rely on to be your heel.
Yep.
Especially when you didn't have any other big guys inside the company at the time. Right now, they're backside the ring, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Warlord had a tag team with Barbarian for a
yep.
little bit.
Yep, he did. And then Barbarian would years later become Mean's tag team partner.
Yep.
Faces of Fear. Uh-oh. Hulking out. He's hulking out. Is he going to do the finger poke? Is he going to do it? Oh, here it goes. Low blow time. Low blow. Nope, never mind. Ric Flair forgot his number one rule. If he goes down to the knees, low blow.
Yep.
Oh, Sid Justice and Hulk Hogan are working together. But, if you remember.
Sid and Hogan have been eliminated Warlock.
Warlock's gone.
Or not
the
Warlock,
big guy's
Warlord.
gone.
Not Warlock, Warlord, sorry.
Yep, Warlord's gone. Oh, now, Hulk Hogan's back on Ric Flair. Headbutt, punch, going up to the top rope for the 10 punches. Roddy Piper's still inside this thing as well. Don't forget that. Oh, but now he's gone. And so is Rick Martel. Thanks to Sid Justice.
Showing just how menacing Sid can be. Just eliminated two guys.
That's right. And now we're down to 4 men. Randy Savage, Sid Justice, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. One of these men is going to be the world WWF champion.
All 4 men will hold.
Oh, look at that. A move that I've never seen Ric Flair do. He just comes jumping up for a high-octane knee to the back of the head. And that eliminate Randy Savage.
Now we're just down to 3.
Yep.
I was about to say all 4 of the men have held the title at least once or twice in their career.
Yep.
So this could go to any one of these men at this point.
Yep. And at the time, Sid Justice didn't have the title.
Nope.
So
I don't think Savage had it yet either.
Oh, he did. He held it. He held it twice before he held it in 1988.
That's right.
And the second time was later on. Oh, now look, Hogan's gone. Now watch this. Watch this heel act. Watch this. This is a sore loser right here. I'm telling you. Watch what he's about to do.
Hogan is eliminated. It's down to Flair and Justice.
And what does Hogan do? See, look at that.
Flair's.
Damn it, Hogan.
Hogan grabbed Sid Justice's arm, allowing Flair to come up from behind, eliminate him, giving Flair the win.
You fucking heel. I thought that was the biggest babyface in the world. What does he do?
You're eliminated. You're supposed to go to the back. You don't.
Hey, he just got rid of Sid Justice. It made Ric Flair, the guy who he's been feuding with the whole damn year, the WWF champion. My God. So much for being babyface.
Hogan and Justice were friends at this point.
Yep. So why
this is the beginning of their split.
Yep.
And
it wasn't Sid Justice's fault.
And Sid goes heel.
That makes no sense. Because Sid eliminated him because per the rules, there's no friends during the Royal Rumble, and the rules do not say that Sid should not eliminate Hulk Hogan.
Right.
But now look, they're taking the momentum off of Ric Flair and putting the focus on them. How dare Hulk Hogan steal Ric Flair's spotlight?
I got to see these two go at it live.
Nice.
In California when I was growing up.
Hell yeah.
At the Cow Palace, the Oakland Coliseum.
Nice. And right now, we're just focusing on these two. Sid has every right to be pissed. Hulk Hogan is such a dastardly heel.
Yeah.
I can't believe this man literally grabbed his arm and allowed Ric Flair to dump him over the ropes. And that's supposed to be our baby face?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Hogan. You're not the face. The face is Ric Flair right now. I like how Ric Flair won, but instead of focusing on the champion that just won, they're focusing on Hulk Hogan. Of course, because Hulk Hogan knows that he can't let someone else have the spotlight.
No.
Same thing happened with Macho Man Randy Savage. He couldn't let Macho Man hold the title for long.
Nope. Hogan needs the title. Hogan is nothing without the title, and he knows it.
Yep, because the title has power.
Well, I mean, not everybody needs a title.
Exactly.
Not everybody, I mean, some people can draw the crowd just on their own.
Exactly.
Hogan needs the title.
Yep, because I don't think that Hogan, outside the title picture, could have drawn huge crowds. Nope. He needed something to be chasing or to have.
Yep, he needed a big old monster to come and take the title from him.
Yep, whereas Macho Man was drawing crowds before he was ever inside the WWF Championship picture.
Yep.
Same thing with Sid Vicious here. He didn't even get to hold the WWF Championship until 1996, 97.
Yep.
And this is where he begins the master and ruler type gimmick, because he was Sid Justice. Then he starts cutting promos about how he's the master and ruler of the universe. And then they would run with that when he came back in 1997.
Yep. Psycho Sid.
Look at this. He's crying.
Becoming the undisputed champion of the World Wrestling Federation. What am I going to say after View distorting?
Greatest promo he ever cut right here.
Claiming the real world champion. I'm going to tell you all with a tear
in my eye.
This is the greatest moment in my life. When you walk around this world and you tell everybody you're number one, the only way you get to stay number one is to be number one. And this is the only title in the wrestling world that makes you number one. When you are the king of the WWF, you rule the world. Think about it like that, Mr. Perfect.
Greatest night of his life. Because he came in at number 3, lasted that long, and guess who gave him the title? Hulk fucking Hogan. The guy who he'd been feuding with the whole time.
And that promo right there at the end, that was sticking it to WCW and NWA.
Yep.
So, who was running? Was that Crockett?
Yep.
Yeah.
And also to Jim Herd.
Jim Herd, yeah.
The man who tried to make him Spartacus. You know, it's funny because WWF also revitalized Ric Flair's career back inside early 2000s, because before he wrestled the Undertaker at WrestleMania 18, he felt like he could not go like he used to.
Right.
And then Undertaker talked to him, and things came about, and finally he agreed to have a match with him. Ended up being one of the best decisions that Ric Flair could have ever thought of.
Oh, yeah. Same with Triple H forming Evolution around him. You know?
Yep. Because at the time he didn't think they could do anything.
No. He's like, are you kidding me, man? You're still Ric Flair. Like, that still means something.
Exactly.
And we got to show these people exactly what that means.
Exactly, because that's old school. Old school mentality and everything. like WrestleMania 6, though, was supposed to be Ultimate Warrior's time. Well, we know how that went about.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was great until, it was over.
Yeah. It was great till it was over,
It
then.
was a great build-up.
Exactly.
It was a decent enough match.
Exactly.
You got now Warrior's a champion, but, I mean...
But there was nothing left afterwards.
Nope.
Because
it's a straight drop-off.
after he held the title, they didn't do anything with it.
No.
He didn't get built up like a champion. And eventually it was back on Hogan.
And that's all on Warrior. He didn't care enough.
Yep. That's what happens when you put the title on someone that didn't care enough to make the title mean something. That's something that makes you realize that at the time he was not the guy to carry in the new generation. Because he was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan.
Right.
But he was no Hulk Hogan.
No.
I will give them this, though, the build up to the match and the match itself, they were good. But afterwards, not only did Ultimate Warrior not care, but it reflected in how they written his feuds.
Yeah.
And then the belt was back on Hulk Hogan. And then it would be like a couple years later before we start seeing other champions. Look at that. Ripping his shirt off. Ultimate Warrior holding the Intercontinental Championship. The classic WrestleMania look. And look, he's still doing his I can hear you.
That was his build as champion versus champion, but only one title is on the line.
Yep. And that's the WWF Championship. Because shortly after he wins it, he has to vacate the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
And they're both big guys. But only one of them gives a shit about the title.
Right.
And it's Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan should have poked him inside the eye. Because I would have. Because Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior didn't care about the title.
No, he didn't care about the business at all. He just cared about the money.
Just like he didn't care about what happens later. Because I tell you what, WrestleMania 13 is also a good one too. Because notice, Undertaker brought back the gray gloves one night only to take on Sid Vicious. And this was a good feud too that was built up. He was wearing the purple gloves in that, but then for this night only, he brought back the gray gloves. Which told a good story too. And also, Sid Vicious at this time was perfect to be World WWF Champion because at the time they were transitioning to having the younger guys carry the company.
Fun fact, these two actually wrestled earlier in their careers when Undertaker was me, Mark Callis, and Vicious was Lord Humongous.
Yep. And the Lord Humongous gimmick has been passed around through generations.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Ever since the Road Warrior Mad Max movie that had it.
Yeah.
Also, that's where Chris Jericho got his Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla.
Yes,
was
sir.
Lord Humongous' chant.
Yes, sir.
And this is a good moment, too, for Undertaker and Sid Vicious because not only does this mean something, but this was going to be the crowning achievement to put the belt back on Undertaker. And then they would build up to the SummerSlam match where HBK cost Undertaker the title.
Yeah.
And that would set up not only that, but set up Bret Hart and HBK's feud and Undertaker and HBK's feud.
Undertaker and HBK had a great feud.
Oh, they did. There we go. Look at that.
Sid tombstoning Taker.
And look, that was only the second time the Undertaker ever did that with his hands. Whenever someone tombstone, he did second time for Kane. He couldn't believe it. And that blood that's on that mat, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin's blood.
Yep, from that match with Bret Hart.
Yep. One of the greatest matches that WrestleMania ever saw.
Oh, yeah.
It helped cement Austin as someone that was a tough as nails son bitch. But it also helped cement Bret Hart as a heel.
Yeah, it was a double turn right in the middle of the ring.
Yep. And look, this during time when they were still feuding with each other too.
Yeah.
Because Bret's now heel, so he attacked Sid Vicious.
Brett's still gunning to be champion
Yep.
again.
Tombstone Power Driver. Oh. And now, listen to that crowd. Listen to the eruption. It's how you tell a story. And then he won. Just like that. Won with the Tombstone Power Driver. That's the difference between that wrestling and today's wrestling.
Yeah.
They knew to catch the fans' attention. Yeah, I remember that too. But that's also before Rock became The Rock.
Yep.
He was still being Rocky Maivia, who people hated. And that's big Rikishi.
Yep. He's wrestling his cousin right now.
Yep. It wasn't a good WrestleMania match, though. I mean, it was decent, but it wasn't good.
No.
Because
Rocky's green and Rikishi's he's not comfortable with his gimmick.
Exactly. Because he's supposed to be playing the Sultan,
Right.
Middle Eastern character.
Right.
And Rock is still being Flex Cabana.
Yep.
Basically just Flex Cabana with the name Rocky Maivia.
Yep.
It won't be until mid-1997 when he finally comes back, joins with the Nation. Then a few weeks later, he starts cutting the promo where he's talking inside third person and saying, The Rock.
The Rock doesn't suck.
Die, Rocky, die. Die, Rocky, die. I will give him this. He still had that inside the repertoire.
Yeah, that
A lot of the
DDT.
moves that he uses here is still being used by him today.
Yeah, that foot over DDT was smooth.
Oh, it is. But the gimmick they had at the time was not good.
No.
Even if it was a tribute to his dad and his great-grandfather.
Yeah.
No referee. I don't hear no count.
The Sheik's on the apron.
That's right.
Classic Iron Sheik.
Exactly. Flex Cabana, you took your eyes off the ball, kid. Roll up.
How anybody wins with a schoolboy.
I know, right? Especially since he wasn't putting all his weight onto the schoolboy.
Right.
Wait a minute, Bob Backlund's out there too.
Yeah, Backlund was managing them.
Yep.
Managing the Sultan.
Oh, look. He just smacked Rocky across the back of the head. Camel clutch. Look at that. He's breaking the Rock's back and he's making him humble. He's telling me, Hulk Hogan,
Here
you no
comes
good
Rocky
son of a
Johnson
bitch.
to the rescue.
Here he comes, doing his thing. He's doing dancing too. Bob Backlund's like, I ain't scared of you. I'm the same age as you. And then the shit, hey, you don't do that to a man. Hey, come on, Rock. He's older than you. At least 60 years old. Oh, of course. Daddy's going to get involved too. Are we going to do a well, actually, they didn't come up with the People's Elbow yet.
No.
You know why he came up with the People's Elbow?
What's that?
The prank the Undertaker. Just try to get him to break character. It's at a house show. They had a bet going that they could break the Undertaker, make him smile. So one night, Rock does his best with the People's Elbow. He basically was doing all the motions and that couldn't get the Undertaker to break. And that People's Elbow would end up becoming his signature move for the rest of his career.
I never heard that story.
It's definitely a unique story that I heard about from the Rock himself. Paul Bear. But see, Paul Bear's not with the Undertaker at this time. But he was trying to be Undertaker's guy again. And this is where they're kicking off the Kane stuff. Because they already had it in late 96 for him to start talking about,
Yeah.
Taker, your brother's not dead. I have proof. Percy Pringle.
Yep.
Raw's War. Greatest name for the Raw that there was, because Raw by itself just don't hit right.
It doesn't.
I understand why they had to stop it from being Raw's War, but Raw's War was definitely the better version of Raw.
Yeah.
And that was the worst guy right there. Ahmed Johnson. That guy was so bad that even when he was inside WCW as Big T,
oh man,
he could not work. And Farouk had to whoop his ass for real backstage.
Oh yeah.
Because I think Ahmed Johnson thought that he was bigger and badder than Farouk.
He did. Ahmed thought he was the biggest, baddest on the block, and nobody could tell him any different.
Yep.
And he wasn't gonna listen to nobody.
And then Farouk was like, "All right, bet I'm gonna whoop your ass."
Yep.
And then they had a very real fight, and Ahmed Johnson couldn't do shit about it.
Nope.
And when he was at WCW, he was so fat
Oh,
that you would think to yourself, do they think that he's still relevant? Because he hadn't been wrestling in over 2 years since that time.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and they give him the name Big T. It's just one of those moments where you realize Ahmed Johnson was not a star.
No.
At the time, they were trying to treat him as such.
I was a fan too. I was a fan of Ahmed Johnson when he was
Me too.
When he teamed up with the Road Warriors, trying to take down the Nation. I wish he cared more about the business, and he would have gone a little farther.
But then you start seeing his true self, because he was supposed to be a star.
Well, I guess
WWF was actually going to put the WWF title on him,
Yep.
because he had the look. But then something changed. It was the fact that he didn't give a shit about the business. He's only there to collect a paycheck.
Yep.
And he got his ass whooped by Farouk. And that's like a death nail to your career. If you get your ass whooped by a wrestler that you're trying to act like you're tougher than, your career might as well be done with the WWF.
Yep.
I will say that my favorite thing is when Goldust kissed him.
Yeah.
Because he told Goldust, before they ever aired that segment, he says, "Don't you dare kiss me on the lips. You better not fucking dare kiss me on the lips." Well, come the time for the Big Netty.
Yep.
What you see is Goldust kisses him on the lips and then he runs off. You see a very real, pissed off, legit, angry Ahmed Johnson jump up off that gurney and try to go after him. That's how you get back at someone when you don't like them.
Yep.
That's basically also the beginning when Goldust was still that egocentric character where he's preying on men's homophobic behavior.
Yep.
The one that got him started on that was Sabio Vega.
Yep.
And you know what? You don't want to be inside the ring with Farouk and Bradshaw when they want to beat your ass for real.
Oh man, the APA.
When they whooped on Public Enemy because they said
I just watched that about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, trust me.
Man.
When they whooped their ass, it's because Public Enemy said, "We don't want to do a table spot." So Farouk or Bradshaw says, if they don't want to do a table spot, then we'll bring the fucking tables to them.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened.
They beat their asses.
They did, because that was one of the very legit beatdowns I ever saw. Besides Perry Sound whooping Mike Bell's ass. For real.
Yeah.
And it's also one of my favorite moments of the APA because, oh look, I only have to type in Public Enemy. It's already there.
It's the top video you put in APA.
Yep. And look, they said that they didn't want to do the table spot. Well, never say that to APA because those are two legit.
And you're supposed to be Public Enemy. You're supposed to come over from ECW.
Yep.
The hardcore, and you come in, oh, I don't want to go through a table tonight.
Exactly. The very first time WWF was trying to bank on this team, well, guess what? After they whooped these guys' asses, Dudley boys earned the APA's respect.
Look, this is supposed to be a tag match, and there's both in the everybody's in the ring going at it. The bell rang.
Oh, very stiff spine buster.
There's no tag going on. This is just a fucking brawl.
Yep.
Stiff kicks to the gut.
And then throwing his ass out unceremoniously.
He's trying to stay away from that table.
Yes, he is. Look, very, very stiff chair shots.
Just laying those chairs in.
And you know what? When Dudley Boys came in, they earned the APA's respect because at the time APA thought that they'd be like Pope Enemy, a bunch of crybabies and that. Well, when they whooped on Dudley Boys' asses, the Dudley Boys came back just as much.
Oh yeah.
That earned respect between the boys. Yep. Meanwhile, Pope Emily became cowards during this. Instead of fighting back and trying to lay in stiff strikes themselves, it didn't earn respect at all.
No.
It makes you wonder, why the fuck did y'all let them whoop your ass like that? Because look at this. It's just a straight up mugging.
Oh, yeah.
They're just beating the hell out of these guys, and these guys ain't doing nothing about it. That's why Pope Emily didn't last long in WWF, because they got their ass beat and they got exposed that they was not true ECW guys.
They had no respect.
Yep. And now look.
I mean, you come in, you want to change the finish as they're coming to their entrance.
Exactly. And also, what was the problem with doing the table spot?
Right.
When you done table spots in WCW prior to this, because in WCW they were doing table spots, and then ECW, and then for some reason you come to WWF, your first act of business was to say, can we not do the table spots? Fuck it, idiots. Look at beating the shit out.
Look, the bell rang. There's no pinfall. There's no submission. There was nothing. The bell just rang.
Exactly, and he even whooped his ass with the table.
The ref has just had to stop this match, and they're not stopping.
They're not.
They're grabbing pieces of the table and slamming them on them. APA is taking it to them.
The APA told them if they don't want to go to the table, we'll bring the table to them, and they brought the tables to them.
Look, big shot with
stiff shot with the steel. And those steel steps are actually heavy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, they're like 30, 40 pounds.
Yep. And imagine you being hit with them at full force. Oh, now he's getting thrown in. At this point, that guy's got a concussion.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting their ass beat. This is an example, boys.
Here's another chair shot or a stair shot coming up. Boom.
Oh, right to the face. At least that guy has some sense to cover himself.
Yeah,
but still fucking hurts.
Here comes a big dominator.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh, and he wasn't protecting them either.
Nope.
Look at that. That's what happens when you try to change the finish at the last second.
Yep.
And
Ron's a legend. I mean, at this point, Ron's already a legend. John's on his way up. You don't do that to these guys.
Exactly. Oh, continues with the table right across his back. Oh, toaster with a chair.
They don't want to leave. They're not done.
Exactly. And the Dudley Boys and them had to have war.
And about 2 Raws after that, they had a tag team battle royal. With like 4 or 5 different tag teams with the Public Enemy involved in that, and everybody jumped on Public Enemy. And beat them down once again.
Exactly, because they did things that you don't do in wrestling.
No, you got to come in with respect.
And see, these matches here that the other boys had, that was respect because they gave as good as they got.
Yep.
That reminds me of the Godwins versus Vader. Everyone wants to talk about people cried when Vader would whoop their ass with stiff strikes. The Godwins wouldn't cry. The Godwins were whooping his ass back with stiff strikes.
That's how you earn respect with those big guys, man. You
yep.
gotta bring it right back to them.
Yep, because if you do what Pope Emmy did when they were being pussies and not even fighting back, you ain't going to be lasting long.
No. Like I said, I was listening to Jake Roberts' podcast. He tells a story of when he first went up against Andre, and Andre was bullying him in the ring and doing all these things. You know, after the match, Jake stormed into Andre's locker room. And, you know, he knew Andre could kill him, you know, snap his neck just like that. But, you know, he walked up into Andre, got up right in his face. Oh, what the fuck was that? You know, we can't work like that. I can't make money like that. You know, what are we doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
And Andre says, now we can work. Now I respect you. You came to me like a man. You showed me you're a man. Now we can do business.
Exactly. Because they test you to see if you can handle it.
Exactly.
That's what happened with Pope Miami. Pope Miami couldn't handle it. So when the Dudley boys came in, at first the APA's like, oh, we got another fucking Pope Miami situation.
Yep.
So when they whooped on their ass, the Dudley boys like, all right, fuck it. We working like that. We'll work like that.
Like
so they start beating the hell out of each other.
Dudley boys like to work stiff anyway, so let's bring them. Let's work stiff, and that just makes the whole match look that much better.
Exactly. Because they weren't like Pope Miami. Pope Miami is what happens when someone that acts like they're hardcore and extreme decides that they're going to come to another company and be like, I don't want to work that hardcore extreme shit. You know, they worked it for another company.
That's the reason we brought you over here.
Exactly.
Was for them table spots.
Exactly. And plus, they did the table spot just a year ago in WCW. And yet they're telling Farouk and Bradshaw, we ain't doing the table spot tonight.
Yeah.
Try telling someone like Farouk that you're not going to take the table spot. Well, I'll tell you what will happen. Farouk will look at Bradshaw, and the first words out of his mouth is going to be, I don't want to do a fucking table spot. We'll bring the fucking table to him.
Yep, we'll see you in the ring.
Exactly. That's why the Dudley boys earned respect, because the Dudley boys didn't just be pussies.
Nope.
Well, the first time that they took those hard strikes, they looked at each other, and their first thoughts was, all right, we working like that, we'll fucking work like that. And it earned the respect of APA, because APA were two legit tough guys.
Yep.
Especially Farouk.
Oh, man.
Look at that power bomb to the table. At this time, you knew that they had APA's respect because they were going through tables for them.
This is how much of a badass Farouk, Ron Simmons, is. When he was playing college football at Florida State, he was a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. Now, most players, when they're running up for the Heisman Trophy, you're talking about quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. This guy was a nose tackle. Nose tackles you don't hear those guys' names.
Yeah.
You know, those guys are not runner-up for the Heisman Trophy winners. Ron Simmons was such a badass, he was a runner-up as a nose tackle.
Exactly. Because he is a badass.
Yeah. And that's why he became the first black heavyweight wrestling champion.
Yep. And he will always be that distinction.
Yep.
Look at they're beating the fuck out of these little guys that decide to come in and try to jump them.
Well, they were working with APA at the time, but they had a little mess up, and Dudley boys blocked. They ducked one of the attacks, and they ended up hitting APA. So,
yeah. But at the same time, the best things was that they gave as good as they got.
Yep.
And also, here's someone talk about the APA thing.
Match with in Pittsburgh with me and Ron and Public Enemy.
I know exactly where you're going with this, yes.
What was Briscoe saying he did?
Exactly.
I was going to ask about that next, and I'm glad you jumped in there, Don.
Let me preface this. Okay, so I have the match. It's you and Ron against Public Enemy, and I go to the ring first like everybody else. So I don't know what's happening up at Gorilla before they walk out. But you correct me if I'm wrong. Did they or did they not say to you guys, we're not doing the finish, or we don't?
They said to me. So their music's playing, literally playing. We went over the match. We went over everything. Everything was agreed to. And it's not.
Yep, he said to Bradshaw.
It's not like me and Ron created the finish.
So he told Brooke, and said we'll bring the table to him.
They turn to me and say, "Hey, we're not going to do that spot on the table." Well, that's the finish. And we're setting up the first table match in WWE. We're going to probably put them
exactly.
over. I didn't want to do the pay-per-view, but that was their match, so probably put them over. Don't know that, but they said we're not doing this spot on the table. I said that's the finish.
Exactly.
And they said, "Yeah, we don't want to do that spot." I said, "Okay."
So then, what's the finish? You want
exactly.
to finish?
We don't want to do a spot. We're going to do a DQ. We're going to do this. We want to put you through it. They didn't offer any alternative. So Ron turns to me. He goes, "What was that?" And I said, "They don't want to go through the table." And he said, "Well, we'll take the table to them."
Yep.
And Jerry asked us. He said, "What's going on?" Now our music's playing by this time.
And they're gonna whoop that ass.
I really don't know. And he goes, "You guys going over?" I said, "We are." 15 seconds or 15 minutes, but we're going over. So that's what happened before we walked out. We walked down there thinking, we don't know what we're walking into. We assume it's a fist fight is what we think we're walking into.
Man, I'm down at the ring.
Because if you're going to try to
it's gonna
chase
be just
Vince,
like
then
you guys
it's
had
going to
talked about,
make
and
you
all
think
of a
he's going to have
sudden
to
you're
go
gonna-
hands.
Everything, and you were there.
Yeah.
You agreed to it, yeah.
Yeah. So, Public Enemy comes down, they do their entrance and the whole bit, and then here comes Ron and John, and they have this different look on their face. not the APA look.
The
This
look
is
to
like
kill someone.
Ron and John coming out of a pub ready to, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, that's a nasty look. That's awesome. Then, as soon as they hit the ring, boom, oh, that was snug. And it was a
The whole
beating.
match was
These
just
guys
them whooping ass for real.
asses beat, and I'm thinking to myself,
And the worst thing
going on
is,
here?
Pope Emily did not try to
And
fight
I'm
back.
not hearing
Nope.
anything yet.
I knew it'd just be worse.
The
Yep.
bell rang, the whole bit, and stuff like this, and they're going on, and you guys laid a number on them. Let's put
And
it.
it wasn't a hardcore match, so
I know.
it
Exactly.
was supposed to be a regular tag.
Right.
Yeah, but there was no tagging. It was like a Texas tornado match where
And it was a heat
you guys
match,
were
too.
knocking the living snot out of these guys.
So why the fuck would they
Finally,
tell
after a
them,
couple of minutes of
we
this,
want to do that table
I think-
spot?
I don't know, Mr. Bean, you could tell me if you were enjoying what was
I don't
going
know
on.
what
but all
went
of a
through their
sudden,
head.
and, Gerald
The only
says,
thing I could think is that
Jimmy, you may want to think about ringing the
they
bell
thought
on this thing anytime now.
now that they were inside the depth and it was a heat, they didn't have to do things like that. But here's the thing. It don't matter if you're on heat. You still got to do what the booker wants you to do.
Yep. You're paid to do a job. This is your job. This is your task for tonight.
And that table spot was crucial to that moment because it's a regular match, and for the end of the match, you're going to that table.
Right. And
It's simple.
and like JBL was saying, that was gonna set up a table match at the pay-per-view that Public Enemy was probably going to go over.
Exactly. And what did they do? Instead, they chose.
Fucked up their whole career.
Yep. And also, they fucked up by not even fighting back. The difference between them and the Dudley Boys was that Dudley Boys was going to just take it. They're going to give it as well.
Oh, yeah.
But as we saw, Harry did not try to fight back. They did not try to swing. They did not try to lay into them. They took it like bitches. And that's what killed their whole career. Because they did that.
Yeah.
That's a bad look because you're supposed to be someone that's a badass from ECW. You're supposed to be this hardcore extreme tag team. And yet you're getting your ass beat by this tag team of APA and you're not even doing anything to them.
Yeah.
And the Dudley Boys didn't do that. The Dudley Boys was like, all right, we're working like that. I got you. The other boys gave as good as they got.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Arn Anderson. Tully Blanchard.
The Brain Busters.
That's right. One of the best tag teams when Arn Anderson wasn't part of the Four Horsemen. Larry Zbyszko and him could have worked together, too.
Yeah.
Been a hell of a tag team, I bet. Look at that. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Rick Rude. Classic. Oh, look, Brother Love. I will say the Brother Love character is good, but he's not someone that you would remember or think about. He's just someone that you think
Yeah.
about was the first manager for The Undertaker.
Yeah.
I love you. That's all that you can remember about him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all it was. That's all his promo was,
Yeah. But it was a good character.
He was. He was.
And here we see Gorilla Monsoon with Bobby Heenan.
Nothing better. These two
Yep.
banter, nothing better.
It was smooth like butter. Back and forth. They were easy together.
A lot of people say JR and King were the best duo, but you got to remember, JR and the King, they had the wrestling match in the ring to play off of.
Yep.
These guys are only playing off of each other.
Exactly. And also they had a good thing going with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like the, will you stop? And also, these guys were best friends. They had chemistry
Oh,
together.
yeah.
That's something that sets them apart from most commentary teams. 2024 has been a hell of a year, though. I will say it. for professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, it is back. It is coming back full force.
That's right. Like
you know-
the best thing that could have happened to wrestling is Best Man going away.
Yeah, I said that a while ago. He needed to go.
Yep, because he was killing it.
He was. His ideas weren't fresh anymore. You know, what his vision of wrestling just wasn't panning out.
Yeah, and he wasn't willing to take responsibility that he was sucking.
Yeah.
He would blame everyone else. If it wasn't for everyone else, wrestling wouldn't have succeeded
Right.
because he was stuck inside his ways. I know that he was killed.
Dino Bravo, yeah, he was taken out by the mob.
Yep. And the sad thing was, he was taken out by someone that might have been a friend because the way they found the body. It's almost like you sit down with the person, they turn on TV, watch TV together, and the person probably excused themselves and behind his head took the shot, killed him, and then made everything look like no one had been there and killed him. All because of cigarette racket. And he could have been one of those guys that could have stuck around a long time too.
Yeah.
Dino doesn't get his flowers either. And this guy is just Hulk Hogan's booty man. That's the only reason why he's got a job. I'm sorry, but British Barbecue Beefcake was never that good.
No.
Even his character is not that good.
Nope. He owes everything, every little thing he owes to Hulk Hogan.
Yep, because that's the only way they got a job.
Yep.
Anytime Hulk Hogan worked for a company, he worked for him.
Yep.
Even inside WCW.
Yep.
And
went to the
TNA.
NWO
And he had the character called Zodiac. But what about the character was Zodiac?
yeah.
All he had was a damn face paint and all that. And these shears, that's it. The only thing that we can give him credit for is the heel turn of Shawn Michaels on a barbershop.
Right.
That's the only thing that he deserves any kind of credit for is that they were on his show.
When anybody says, does this person deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Does that person deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I always say, you know what? They put Brutus in, everybody gets in.
Exactly, because Brutus was not Hall of Fame worthy.
No.
There's many people that were before him that ain't even been inside the Hall of Fame yet.
Yeah.
And yet this guy got to get a free ticket into the Hall of Fame just because of Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
He's taking on Dino Bravo, but you just know that he's going to weigh down Dino Bravo with his wrestling because Dino Bravo's good.
Yeah.
But Brutus Beefcake is not.
No.
And yeah, he may have gotten the crowd to like him, but that's only because he was wearing colorful clothes and having the barbershop shears and all that. His promo ability wasn't that good.
No, I didn't know it at the time. Of course, I didn't even know what one was at the time. But he comes out looking like a male stripper.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're looking at him right now, half of his tights on the side are see-through. They're like
yeah,
fishnet.
what the fuck?
I don't know a barber who dresses.
This is
in
a
fishnet.
kid's show, for God's sake. There's kids out inside the audience. And he's coming out there with half his ass on display.
Right.
Who the fuck told him that was a great idea? I bet Hulk Hogan took one look at it and said, yeah, baby, that's what I like to see. Because that is his butt buddy. That's the only reason why he ever got into the companies that he got into. Anytime Hulk Hogan was there, you just knew the booty man was going to be somewhere behind.
The only reason Beefcake was ever in WWF because of Hogan. The only reason why he was ever in WCW was because of Hogan. The only reason why he lasted so long in either company was because of Hogan.
And without Hogan, Beefcake would have fizzled out at least after the first time he appeared.
Yeah. He might have lasted 6 months, maybe a year, but he's done and gone.
Exactly. Because he's not as gifted in promos. His character is stale. All he's got for going for him is that he wore colorful tights. And his gimmick basically looks like a fucking male stripper, like you said.
Yeah.
And yet, he lasted because of Hulk Hogan. But then that's exactly what Hulk Hogan does. He gets his buddies all happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, he was friends with Bubba the Love Sponge at one point.
Yeah, until he, fucked his wife, right?
Yep, the whole... the sad thing is that Bubba the Love Sponge was filming this shit.
Yeah.
So that makes it even more funny. Oh, look, the sleeper. That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
The sleeper could have been Hulk Hogan's finisher the whole time, and he wouldn't have had to worry about breaking his back.
Yep.
But Dino Bravo is a star. Unfortunately, that star is gonna fizzle out. Cause this is only
1989.
Yep, and he would be dead at least 2 or 3 years after this.
Yeah.
And that's because his star starts slowly fading. I think what did it was when he dyed his hair black.
Yeah.
He lost what made Dino Bravo look good.
Right.
Because he had a good thing going when he had the platinum blonde hair.
Yes, he did.
And now, that's all Barber Fruitcake can do, is cut hair.
Yeah, that's your gimmick. You cut everybody's hair.
Exactly.
Every match has to be a hair match with this guy. I mean, that's...
Exactly. He doesn't know how to spruce it up. That's all that he does. Cut their hair. Don't add nothing to it. Don't do nothing for the character. Just stay the same exact booty man.
Yep. Look, gyrating, shaking his butt. I don't know a barber that does that.
I don't hear. He's a male stripper.
Yep.
A male stripper that was somehow getting over with everyone. Which is funny.
You know, maybe that was the gimmick the whole time. Because, you know, they got these male strippers that come out. They look like the postman. They look like a firefighter. This stripper looks like the barber.
Yeah.
You know?
And
he wasn't the barber. He was a stripper looking like a barber.
Yeah, it's Brutus the Stripper Beefcake.
Yep. There you
Even
go.
his name is a stripper's name. Beefcake.
There you go.
And Hulk Hogan was getting off to that. Because that's the only reason why he got famous.
Yep.
But Dino Bravo should have had a better match than with him. I think that's what kind of killed Dino Bravo's when they put him up against guys that wasn't exactly good for his character.
Yeah, can't do much with them.
Yep. And then after that, he slowly started his career with the cigarette thing in Mafia.
Yep.
That's another life that we lost in wrestling because he was one of those guys that had a great gimmick, good name, could wrestle.
Legit strongman.
Yep.
He was a Canadian strongman for real.
Yep. And great promo as well. And because of all the matches they would get, he slowly started becoming a shell of his former self. And that led to the Mafia thing. Over cigarettes.
Yeah.
So, God rest his soul, Dino Bravo. But Brutus, I'm going to blame Beefcake because he killed him. Not only did he give him a bad match.
That match just killed him. He lost it after that match.
Yep. He left the sour taste in Dino's mouth that made him go, this wrestling thing ain't working for me.
No, after that match, he needed a cigarette.
Yep. Because that was the worst person that you could have him wrestle. Ron Bass! Hey.
Big Ron Bass.
Hey, I've seen his son.
Oh, yeah?
Ron Bass Jr. wrestles here in Indiana.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Ronnie Garvin, Hands of Stone.
Yep. The man that Orton imitates his stomps for him.
Yep.
Which is hilarious because Ron Bass was a legit tough guy too. He may not look it, but the man had style. He could wrestle. He had the look.
Yep.
He could also cut a decent promo. And you wouldn't want to be caught dead in the alleyway along with him. His son, Ron Bass Jr., has basically a similar moveset to him.
Okay.
And he's a damn good wrestler himself. And right now, this is how you do it. You keep the fans anticipating what's about to happen. Neither man has thrown a punch at each other or locked up.
Nope. There's a lot of banter to the crowd. A lot of arguing with the ref. Ron Bass still has his hat on.
Yep. Now he's teasing, taking the hat off. Every time he goes for it, he was spending more time putting his hands back down.
He's taking it off, and he's still not ready to wrestle. He's still bantering with the crowd, pacing back and forth.
That's how you get them. That's how you hook the crowd. You make sure that the crowd invest in what you're doing and what you're saying.
You got to get that crowd fired up. Come on, Ron, get in there. Get in there, you big coward, you big pussy. Get in there.
Now, they lock up finally, and it's intense. Big knee to the gut. Off the rope. Oh, straight punch to the head. Smart thing to do. Ron Garvin is just as good as anyone else inside that time frame.
Yep.
He's one of the most famous Garvins too. I know that there was other Garvins, but Ronnie Garvin is the guy that Orton modeled his stomps after.
Yep.
So that just shows you just how impactful he was. And Ron Bass is definitely one of the top contenders here. His son whoops ass on the independent circuit as well. Look at that man. He's in pain. Look at that fan. That fan just said, "Fuck you, old man." Look at that crowd. It's how you do it. He's taking his sweet time. He's getting the fans riled up before he ever gets back in to lock up. Classic wrestling 101.
Yep.
Now they lock up again. And look, it's intense. Wrist lock comes on. And you know, I like how Ronnie Garvin's also got the RG on his boots.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's got it. Arn Anderson's got it. Several of the men's got their names initiated on their boots.
Yep. That was a classic staple back in the
Yep.
80s and 90s.
Exactly. And the wrist lock's keeping Ron Bass isolated.
Yep.
If his arm can't be used, then he can't do the lariat. Because that was Ron Bass's signature right there.
Yep.
Him and
Stan Henson.
yep, and a few others that were using lariats at the time. That was their thing. Stan Hansen had the best lariat though,
Yeah.
because when he hit it, it looked like a freight train went right into the person, and he went to war with Vader.
Oh, yeah.
A fucking cowbell smacked to the face, popped his eye out of socket, and the eyes just hanging down by a tendon. That's a brutal match.
Yeah, and Vader just pops it right back in.
Yep, and continues the match all throughout.
Yep.
Now he's working on that shoulder. If you take out that shoulder, he won't have a chance to hit that lariat. But can he continue doing this the whole match? That's the real question. Because he think about it. If he lets go for it, even a second, and he stops focusing on that arm, Ronnie Bass will recover.
Oh, yeah. He gets a hand on him. It could be it.
Exactly. And this is why he's being smart. He's working on that arm. He's keeping his attention onto it, because if he continues to do this, he could take the big man's arm out.
Yep.
Now he's going for the shoulder.
Shoots him
Backing Garvin up into the ropes. Smart.
Forcing the referee break.
Oh, now he's grabbing the hair. Oh, big punch. Big punch. That is what you call great ring psychology.
They're taking their time. They're going slow.
And that's something that you need to do whenever you want the fan to invest.
I'm not saying you can't do a high spot.
Yeah, you can do a high
I
spot.
love a great high spot.
Just don't do them all the time.
But you just can't have 10 of them in a match and be the opening match.
Yeah, because you do that, and then,
The crowd is bored by the third match.
yep,
They've seen everything.
exactly. You gotta pace it well. Look at that big elbow. Nothing like a good elbow drop. Now, Ronnie Garvin and Ron Bass, they may have the name Ron, but we're seeing a masterclass in who's the better man.
Yep.
Right now, Ronnie Garvin's back on Ron Bass. Slammed his head into the ropes.
Back into the turnbuckle.
Look at that head of his, though. It looks like he's got a bruise on it. Ron Bass. Legit strong man right there. And he's just whooping the ass of Ronnie Garvin. Big clubbing blow to the ribs. The chest. And with each strike, Ronnie Garvin looks like he's trying to breathe. Oh, hot shot, which is a classic Randy Savage move.
Yep.
Off the top right here we go, high spot. Back then, this was a high flying move.
Yep, cross body.
Yep. And then people start doing these new age high flying moves,
which was fun. When the Hardys came out and they're doing swantons and all that. That was great.
Exactly. Look at that roll up. He almost got the win. Grabbing him by the throat. Off the rope. Oh, big kick sends Ronnie Garvin to the mat. Oh, and he misses the big elbow. Oh, there it is. The stomps. Here it goes. The classic Ronnie Garvin stomps. That's what you do. You pick apart the limbs.
Yep.
That's what inspired Orton's stomps. Oh, a back body drop, but it was a sunset flip.
Hold on to the flip.
Kick out. Oh, a nice big punch sends Ronnie Garvin to the outside. Ronnie Garvin is a man that doesn't always get knocked outside with one punch.
No, but you're going up against Ron Bass.
And Ron Bass is a big guy himself. He's definitely one of those guys that had a strong punch. Oh, right back to the arm that he's been working on.
Yep.
Oh, if he takes out the arm, he can't hit a lariat.
Been working on that arm all night. Now he's wrapping it around the ring post.
Oh.
And there's a double count out.
Yep. Oh, scoop slam.
And they're ignoring the bell. They don't care.
Yep, the fight is continuing. Ron Bass gets back inside the ring, just get his bull rope and his hat.
Just the bull rope.
Oh, he's gonna whip that man.
Oh, Garvin's up top.
There it goes. Turn around. Oh, double axe handle from Ronnie Garvin to Ron Bass' head.
And now Garvin's got the bull whip.
Oh, no, he's going to whip him. He's going to whip him and make it raw. Ronnie Garvin is definitely at a loss for words. Ron Bass is gone, but guess what? He ain't leaving with his bull rope.
Nope.
That man right there has taken home a trophy.
See, even though it was a double count out, one man was still left in the ring.
That's right, because the other man got scared. He saw his life flash before his eyes.
Even though nobody got his hand raised, there was still a winner in that match.
Exactly. And look, Bobby Brain's got his potassium. Lots of bananas. This is a classic pairing, too, as a commentary team, because you had Gorilla Monsoon playing the straight man.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as the color commentator. And then you had your classic heel commentator in Bobby the Brain Heenan. People will say JR and King are the best, but I think these are the best ones.
Yeah. These guys are just in a studio.
Yep.
It's them two and a camera.
Exactly.
Action. They're not sitting front row of the ring. They're not playing off of the wrestlers or anything.
Exactly. And up next is Brainbusters. That is the best commentary team that there is. The second best, I'd have to say, is Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon.
I love that pairing.
Because that was a
Shut up,
pairing.
McMahon. You don't know what you're talking about.
I wish that we could have heard him say that. Okay, he should have said to Michael Cole, "Shut up, Cole, you don't know what the hell you're talking about." I mean, he proved that he still got it.
Yeah.
He ain't been in front of a mic in over 40, 30 years.
Something like that.
Oh, look, it's Best Man's Cape. He gave that to Ted DiBiase because he wanted Ted DiBiase to not just look like a millionaire, but to have something that set him apart.
Yep.
This is where the Big Nettie says he's running too. Virgil, stop being sourpuss. We know you want to be a WWF champion, but you can't, brother. Ted's the man. Look at that. The $1 Million Championship.
Yep.
I remember it. That's also Stone Cold Steve Austin's belt. It was also Ted DiBiase Jr.'s belt.
Yeah.
And it was Ted's bread and butter. Oh my God, is he wearing a wig? Oh my God, it's a toupee. I just realized that. Look at his hair. It looks like he's wearing a toupee.
He does. But I don't know. I always heard that was his real hair.
Ted, what's with the hair, brother? For a millionaire, he sure has a toupee looking hair.
Yeah.
It probably is weird, but it's just weird how those sides look.
Yeah.
How it's like a wig falling off. Here we go. The Brain Busters.
Arn and Tully.
Yep. Versus Louis Spagoli
A very,
and
very young
a
Louis
coach.
Spicoli. He don't even look like he's 18 yet.
I know, right? And that's Ricky Ataki. Watch what they're about to do. A master class in tag team. That's Louis Spagoli before he was ECW and WCW.
Yep.
Just like how Mick Foley was wrestling as Nick Foley and another name they went by. I think it was David Foley. But at that time, he wasn't yet the Cactus Jack that we know.
Yeah.
We're starting out with Tully, who made it his debut. I know that Mick Foley started out as an enhancement talent just a few years after his Do Love video that he made.
Yeah. It was Jack Foley for a while.
Yep.
It was his dad's name.
And he was Nick Foley.
Nick Foley.
And then finally, Cactus Jack was born.
Yeah.
Came to be, and then for years he was Cactus Jack before finally becoming Mankind for WWF.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a career, though.
I actually got to catch one of his WCW matches when I was a kid. I could not tell you who he wrestled, but I remember the commentaries putting him over. They ended up on the outside, and the commentary goes, this is Cactus Jack territory. He's very dangerous on the outside, and that always just stuck with me. And, later on when Mick Foley came into the WWF, I always stuck with that.
Yes.
And yes, the outside is his Mick Foley's territory.
And the greatest elbow drop was off the apron from him.
Yep.
He always had the best one. He also had the best clothesline to the outside because he'd go out with them. Mankind was also one of his best characters because he had a concept. At first, it was going to be called Mason the Mankind.
Mason the Mauler.
Yep. And then they decided, no, we'll change to just Mankind.
Yep.
And the rest was history. That's my favorite version of Mankind. Then he become the white shirt version.
Yeah, after the corporate Mankind, all that.
Yep. Also, Do Love went heel for a while.
Yeah.
But I will say that no one could have done what Mick Foley did. He's able to bring in Cactus Jack, Do Love, Mankind, and Mick Foley.
Yep.
The four faces of Foley all inside WWF, and he didn't miss a step on either of them.
Nope, and 3 entrances into the Royal Rumble.
Yep. It ain't never been done before.
Nope.
It ain't been done afterwards. There were Spike Pile Driver. Arn Anderson is the man. They just killed Louis Spagoli. Years.
I heard
years.
I heard they were going to do that concept with the Godfather, have him enter the Rumble with all his gimmicks, but for whatever reason, they never did it.
I mean, they could have, because he could have went Papa Shango,
Yep.
Kamala, or Kama,
Yep.
the Godfather,
Yep.
the Good Father,
Yep.
which was the weirdest one out of them. And the other gimmick day was, because he was a lot of gimmicks.
Yeah.
He could have been the Soul Taker.
Soul Taker.
And he's Undertaker's best friend. He's the reason why Undertaker had those snake skin pants for that
Yep.
one show that people hate on. Because it was Godfather's pants. Because Undertaker lost his pants during travel. So he asked Godfather, does he have an extra pair of pants? And the snake skin pants were his solution. That's the only time that you ever saw Undertaker wear snake skin.
Anything other than black.
Yep, and then people shit all over it.
Yep.
Just like they shit on HBK's brown tights they only wore one time. That's for the Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
2002. And the Elimination Chamber was supposed to be the War Games match. But Vince McMahon shot that idea down, so Triple H came up with an idea that was similar to the War Games. And that's where we got the Elimination Chamber. Great mind, I will say, about Triple H.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He does have a great mind for the business.
Yep.
We would be lost. Wrestling would be lost without him for sure.
Yep, because he showed respect to the legends.
Oh yeah.
That's the difference between him and Best Man. Best Man only brought in the legends as convenience for him.
Yeah.
Whereas Triple H saw something more. Oh, look, Barry Horowitz.
Man, I was a big Horowitz fan.
Yep.
As a kid, I didn't know the difference between a heel and a face and enhancement talents. I didn't know that. You know, you went in, you wrestled, I either liked you or I didn't.
Exactly.
And Horowitz, he didn't win a damn match, but I love the shit out of him.
And when he did finally win a match,
Yep.
it was his one-time win, and it stuck with you for years.
Yep.
Still sticks with you, too. Because Barry was one of those guys that could do it.
Yeah.
Him and Steve Labarney,
Yep.
they did great as Brooklyn Brawler and Barry Horowitz, because they were guys that you knew that even though they were losing, they were putting over the stars.
Yeah.
Hell,
And
Brooklyn Brawler was
if
also...
you couldn't have a match with them, you can't get in the business.
Exactly. You couldn't have a good match with either one of them, you might as well quit.
Yep.
Oh, yes, we got Hillbilly Jim versus Barry. Oh, look at he's showing off.
Hillbilly Jim with a cartwheel.
Yep. And he was recently at Cabernet Super Show dancing with Terry England. That's a good moment, too. Oh, big kick to the gut. Off the rope. Grabbed his arm. Headbutt. Big old Jim.
Man, that guy just built different. You want to talk about built different?
You know who's on that commentary? Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, I was about to say that's Schiavone, yeah.
Yep. Because he was with the WWF
Yep.
at this time.
Yep.
He was also the backstage interviewer.
Yep.
Then, years later, when WCW finally started having Monday Nitro, he was part of WCW for Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Nitro.
Yep.
1995 until its closing days.
Yep.
He went down with the sinking ship, as they say. Whereas Bobby Heenan was like, nope, fuck it, I'm out. But then, they did Bobby Heenan wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Because they replaced him with fucking Mark Madden. The worst fucking commentator you could ever listen to on there. And don't get me started on that fucking Ed Ferrara posing as Jim Ross.
Man.
When he did the Oklahoma gimmick.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yep. That during that era of WCW, it was hard to be a WCW fan.
Yeah.
Because you just went from 1995 all the way to 2000. It just felt like it lost what made it WCW.
Yeah.
Because first they fired Eric Bischoff, who was one of the leading factors why WCW got big.
We're going to get rid of Bischoff. We're going to keep Vince Russo.
Yep. And then when they got rid of Vince Russo, Kevin Sullivan was, for some reason, writing just like Vince Russo.
Yep.
Everything they did after Vince Russo was gone was just like Vince Russo. And it makes you think. Did Kevin Sullivan forget how to book himself?
Right.
And also how to write himself? Because it was like one shit show after another. WCW should have been the company that was still here.
Yeah.
With WWF. Instead, it got ran into the ground by people that didn't care about it, and then you had Ted Turner's people that were with Time Warner, AOL,
Yeah.
and they finally were like, we don't feel like we want to pay for this.
We don't like wrestling. We don't.
Exactly.
We don't care. That's the highest rating thing on TV right now.
Exactly. We
don't
want it
like-
off our station.
Yeah.
And then they sold it to the WF as soon as Vince McMahon came calling. Didn't even give Eric Bischoff the time to build the money they was trying to build up.
Oh.
Classic Macho Man. And this is just, I think that this this before he becomes Macho King.
Yep.
And then after Macho King, he starts going back to his. Yep, this is for WrestleMania 5.
Yep.
And then after this, he becomes Macho King. And then
Yeah. He leaves Miss Elizabeth. He goes with Sherry.
yep, and then
Becomes a king.
about 1990 to 1991, he starts putting back on the cowboy hats and the
Yep.
secret jackets, and then we get the match made in heaven at SummerSlam. Strong promo.
Oh yeah.
And it's still one of my favorite memories of it. That's right.
Got
That's
lust
right.
in your heart, Hogan.
Cream of the crop. And also badass sunglasses. Oh, that son of a bitch. He's right. Hulk Hogan's a fucking heel.
He is.
Because
That's
he literally was flirting with another man's woman in front of the man.
Yep. Right in the middle of the ring.
I won't forget when I saw Hogan checking out her titties and her ass in front of Macho Man, trying to say, "Oh, brother, I'm not praying. I'm just checking on her."
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, no, you're trying to take his woman and you're trying to have your way for her. Hulk Hogan, you scum. The real babyface was Macho Man the whole time.
Yes, sir.
And we got gaslit into thinking that Hulk Hogan was the face.
Yep. Look, he grabbed another man's wife.
Exactly. And yet, Macho Man's the inside the wrong for it.
Right. You don't touch my wife like that.
It was like a powder keg waiting to explode because every time Macho Man looked, Hulk Hogan was getting his hands all over his woman.
Yep.
And then Hulk Hogan has the audacity to say that it was Macho Man that betrayed the Brotherhood.
Of course.
Just like he did Sid Justice.
Yep.
We saw him. He grabbed Sid Justice's arm, and he pulled it, and he kept him held. And then when Sid Justice got eliminated, this motherfucker had the audacity to say, "You turned your back on me."
Yeah.
Just because Sid Justice followed the rules of the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
There are no friends.
Nope. There's every man for himself. You want
Exactly.
You want to be champs? Well, so do I.
Look at that intensity. He snorted some coke. Macho Man and his coke. The eyes were all red. Oh, look at that sequin red jacket, though. I gotta give it to my man there. He looks like a stud.
Yes, he does.
Grill Monsoon, he's the reason why it's called the gorilla position.
Yep.
Because of him.
Yep.
And now the Pretty Gates called the gorilla position as well. Because he was one of those guys that transitioned from being a wrestler to being a ring announcer.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he is. It's Tracy Smothers. That's Floyd. At least name him. Oh, no, it's Tito Santana.
Tito Santana and
He
Jim
looked
Powers.
he looked like Tracy Smothers with that hair. That's what Tracy Smothers had when he was Floyd.
Yeah.
And Jim Powers, he may be here, but I don't remember him. I think because he didn't last long inside WWF. Because, if I recall, he was there for a while, and then Jim Powers disappeared before 1990.
I think he floundered in WCW as enhancement for a while.
Oh, no. That's why.
Yeah.
See, Tito couldn't even make him a star.
No.
here he goes having Andre versus them. My thing is, why is Tito being a feeder here? Tito is the man. Why is he being a feeder to Andre?
I don't know.
At least have him beat Andre at least once. Oh, look at Jim Power's weakness. That's supposed to be Tito's partner. Look out. See, that's real strength right there. He made Andre budge. Big John Stud. Big words from Big John Stud there. But here's the thing. Jim Parrish is so small compared to Tito here.
Yeah.
And his punches are a lot more better than Jim Powers.
And you need a new name being that small of a guy. You can't be called Jim Powers and be that
Yeah,
small.
because he ain't got what Tito had. Tito has long-standing power.
Yeah.
He's got a good name, a good look, great athleticism,
Oh, yeah.
good wrestler.
Speed, agility, technique.
Yep. And he was also able to beat El Matador.
Yep.
And look at this. Look at this. He's getting his ass whooped while Tito ain't. Jim Powers might as well call himself Jim Quits. Now look, he's copying Tito with Tito drop kicked. He's like, oh, I'll just do whatever you do, Daddy. Now Tito's, oh, is it a bad position? Oh, but notice, Jim Powers is the one getting the end of the short end of the stick because he's the one inside the back.
Yeah.
So every time he rams Tito into him, he's killing Jim Powers' gut. Andre Giant is making it hurt. Oh, right there. Oh, Jim Powers is getting the worst of it. I think Jim Powers just died.
He needs to.
Yeah, because he wasn't good here, and he's not good in WCW either.
No.
There's some guys that are enhancement talent that never do break free of that.
Yeah.
Barry Horowitz and Steve Lombardi, they had something different from those guys.
No, those were their roles. Guys, I need you in this position.
And they understood.
Yep.
I don't think Jim Powers understood.
No.
I think that he thought that him being up against guys like Andre the Giant or guys inside the ring that stars would make him a star if he showcased his.
Look, Andre's got a bear hug on both of them.
Exactly. And the difference is that Tito Santana's a big guy. Look at that. Instead of headbutting Tito, he just throws him into the ropes. Oh. You got lucky there, Jim. Why is Jim pinning him? You know, having the smallest guys pin him until not was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Now, I like how he's going after Jim. He just wants to crush Jim's head. Oh, that's how you do it. Take out the big guy by using the little guy to batter him.
You ever hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker?
Yep. And the fact that Jim lost just like that,
Yeah.
that shows that Tito Santana chose the wrong partner. Tito probably thought, this guy's going to be good for me. And in the end, he lost without even being pinned. Because this small-ass motherfucker died from just being hit once. Oh, John Stud's talking.
Was it Stud? It almost sounded like Roberts.
Oh, it did. Was it Roberts saying, I'm watching you, Andre? But then I thought that Stud was the one feuding with him.
Well, I think Stud was saying he's got to be the special guest referee in the match.
Oh, that's true. Because you need a special referee if you're going to contain two big guys. Because Big John Stud ain't no slouch. Oh, no, here he is.
Bruce Pritchard.
Yep, Brother Love.
I want to know his involvement in the whole Vince, John Laurinaitis shit.
Me too. But then again, it doesn't look like he was involved.
I mean, so far he's come out squeaky clean. His name has not been
Yep.
brought up,
But you never know because
Yeah,
they said that he was like a best man's yes man.
exactly.
But we ain't heard him named or anything.
No.
Oh look, Barry Darsu's out here as Repo, not as Repo Man, but as Demolition again. Too bad they's gonna be Repo Man soon.
Yep.
And then Crush is going to become Demolition for a while. And then Demolition fizzles out.
Yep. Crush goes on to the Surfer Hawaiian gimmick for a minute.
Yep. And I think that they made a mistake when they changed Barry's gimmick. Because Demolition was on the road. They were a tag team to be reckoned with. They held the tag team titles for 400 plus days.
Yeah, but I think Bill Eadie was on his way out, which is why Demolition broke up.
Yeah, that sucks because...
I wish I could have just gave something better to Darso.
Yeah, because Barry was a big guy. He give him something good to work with, and he could make it in the go. But the Repo Man, it only had a comedy aspect to it.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything for you to go to.
No.
That's why his career in WF after that would fizzle out.
Yeah, I think Repo Man's biggest thing is he feuded with Boss Man.
Yep.
I think that was his biggest thing.
And then after that, he didn't get nothing else from him.
No.
Instead, he'd just do comedy aspect after comedy. He wouldn't go for any singles titles. He'd just do repoing.
Yeah.
And then we no longer saw him inside WF.
Yeah, I think he did a bunch of backstage segments where he was stealing people's shit or something.
Yeah.
But,
But he didn't go as far as that because the gimmick had an expiration date.
Yeah.
And the expiration date came a little bit early. Whereas Demolition did not have one until Eddie left.
Right.
And it sucks because they were the longest reigning tag team champions.
Yep.
I mean, listen to them. They could cut promos.
They had
And
a
the fans
look,
loved
too.
them.
They had that badass look.
Yep.
The leather, the spikes, the face paint.
All inspired by the Road Warriors. You know, it's funny because...
You know, people call them rip-offs, but I think there's a fine line between rip-off and inspiration.
Because they wasn't like the other Road Warrior rip-off. The Power and Glory of Warriors, that was different. Because they actually had face paint like Animal and Hawk.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Power and Glory tag team, but they had a name similar. And they were basically like a new version of the Road Warriors, but not good.
Right.
Because they were booked to look like shit. And then the Road Warriors got to whoop those guys' ass when they joined WWF.
Yep.
So I guess that was the saving grace right there for that tag team. They got to make fun of the Road Warriors and then get their ass beat by the Road Warriors. All in a day's work.
Yeah.
Whereas Demolition was actually inspired by them.
Well, I think the line is how successful you are with it.
Yep.
If you're successful, you call it inspiration. If you're not, you're a rip-off.
Yeah. And they were a rip-off because they was not successful. They tried their best to try to imitate Hawk and Animal's way of talking and all that.
Yep.
But they wasn't good.
No.
They may have had the look trying to imitate it.
That was it. You look. I mean, if you just look like it, you're a ripoff.
Yep. But at the same time, they didn't even try to capture the essence of the Road Warriors.
Right.
They relied more on the look that they stole than they did the substance that made the gimmick. And Hawk and Animal, they were badasses.
They were the first badass tag team.
Yes, they were. Because look at these guys. We could go back to the old days when they were wearing black leather instead of the things that we're used to. Because they wasn't always wearing the red and black. They wore BDSM type gear.
Yeah. Well, hell, I mean, Animal, when he broke in, he looked like he was in Iron Maiden.
Yep.
He looked like the leather biker get up.
Yep. Plus, he was John Laurinaitis' brother, and guess what? He's more better than John Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
And that says something about John. I think John was jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Jealous that his brother, who's also a brother, was more famous than him. Oh, look, we're seeing Big Jack Haynes going to confront the Road Warriors. That was old school Ric Flair just now. Oh, look, Sergeant Slaughter. This takes place. Oh, they ain't got an exact date.
Sometime in the early 80s.
Yeah, look, it's Sergeant Slaughter, and he's still Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Look, it's the Warriors before they were wearing the ones that we know. Black face paint.
Early crude face paint.
Yep. It was Hawk's ideal for their mohawks.
The big diamond look.
Yep. Look at those titles around their waist. These are champions. Look at Hawk. He's so confident in his muscles, he ain't even wearing a shirt. And Animal makes his shirt look like it's small.
And we're gonna hit the road. Now, Billy Jack, everybody knows what you're all about. You're a big bad cat. So is Sergeant Slaughter. You're not scared to fight anybody. You're not scared to fight us. That's why
Exactly.
you're in the ring with us. But I'm gonna tell you something, Billy Jack. Billy Boy. As far as I'm concerned, and are concerned, you ain't have been tested yet against the likes of us. And we're here in Portland for one thing. And that's to put your two lights out. And we're
That's believable as well.
Oh, yeah.
nobody else can do about it.
Nobody cuts it like Hawk.
No, and their promo, crossed over into the ring. Their intensity in their promo, they brought it into the ring with them.
And they'll, oh, what a rush. Was a great way of having Hawk's voice at the beginning.
Yeah, and how do you describe a Road Warrior match? What a rush.
That's right. And that's his Animal's original face paints, too.
Yep.
It's back when they weren't doing the matching face paint. Because they didn't have to. They were badasses together.
Yep.
Look at that, they got the host scared. They're scared that a fight's about to break out. There's about to be a war. Big Jack Haynes was about to get his ass beat by the Warriors. I like how when I type in Road Warriors, it decides to do Mad Max.
Yeah.
Which is what inspired the Road Warriors name.
Yep.
Oh, this is a good one. Paul Ellering. Oh, look, it's Tony Schiavone with a mustache.
Very, very young Tony Schiavone.
Yep.
Precious Paul, still with the blonde hair.
Yep. He's one of the best at cutting promos as well. That's a good manager.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that I can say, I'm proud to say, a manager of his caliber was making the Road Warriors legit.
Oh, yeah.
Ivan Koloff and Nikita were definitely a good tag team together.
Yep.
Oh, look, the Warriors came in to whoop some ass. Hey, the Road Warriors won without even having to have Hawk out there. That's how badass the Road Warriors are.
Yep.
And meanwhile, they come running out. Oh, look, it's three of them. Who's the third man? We know that. We know Nikita. We know Koloff.
I know this. Hold on. I think that's Barry Darsow.
Barry Darsow without hair.
As the Mad Russian or something like that.
Oh, yeah. And they're whooping on Animal. Animal ain't got nobody to help him.
See, like, that's why I couldn't understand why they came up with a Repo Man for him. Because previously to Demolition, Barry had some great gimmicks. He was, the Mad Russian or whatever his name was. He was the Black Top Bully.
Yep.
He had some great gimmicks, and then Repo Man.
Yeah, Repo Man was the downfall of his career. Because he went from being a badass to being a goof.
Yeah.
And you know what? Animal and Hawk look like the legit badasses.
Oh, they were, man. Those guys came in fucking... Those guys were born badasses.
Yes, they were. And that's the difference between them and tag teams that try to act tough.
Right.
Imagine them if Poke Enemy told them, we ain't doing a table spot.
Right.
If the Road Warriors
We're-
were
we're-
done with it,
Yeah, tonight we're not going to take the devastation device. We're not going to do your finisher tonight.
so Hawk and them's gonna bring that device to them.
Yep.
And I guarantee it would have been a worse ass whooping than APA gave them.
Yeah.
Especially with Hawk there. Then again, Hawk did get beat up in real life, according to a wrestler that had beef with him.
You talking about that Too Close Scorpio
Yeah,
scuffle?
yeah.
I heard about that. I also heard that Hawk was also very sick, so
Yeah.
it wasn't 100%.
So Tuco Scorpio shouldn't be bragging about it. Apparently, he thinks that he whooped Hawk's
Right.
ass at 100.
Right.
When a man's sick, you can whoop his ass.
Yeah.
Because he's not fool.
Right. He had like the flu or some shit,
Yeah, and Tuco Scorpio was bragging about how he got the best of Hawk because Hawk was sick, and
Yeah.
at the same time, he didn't really fight Hawk.
Right. And from what I heard, it was a sucker punch.
Yep, that makes sense. I mean, I've heard about a lot of sucker punches in wrestling,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
especially. Let's see if they got down here about Hawk and Tuco. Yeah, we know Road Warrior Hawk died in 2003,
Yeah.
which is sad because that meant the end of the tag team as well.
Yeah, they tried pairing Animal up with different guys, and I kind of liked him with Heidenreich, but there was no replacing Hawk.
Exactly. Because Hawk was Animal's glue.
Right, they were brothers, man. Those guys were best friends.
Oh, these
brothers.
guys had a real life fight too. Randy Savage and Road Warrior Animal. Road Warrior Hawk. Apparently, they got into a fight. Now I say apparently a fight,
Right,
but some of these fights they tend to not be actual fist fights.
right. A little scuffle back and forth, pushing
Yep.
each other. And,
Once at a New Japan show, and another time in the VIP bathroom of a Kid Rock concert. This would lead to a
I've heard about this one too.
Rock's wife suffering permanent damage as a result of their second altercation. This is the story of Randy Savage and Road Warrior Hawk and their real life fights.
But here's the thing: was either man 100%?
right, exactly.
Because you can suffer bruises due to a scuffle. What led to it?
What led to the heated
In
animosity?
1996 at a New Japan show,
Oh,
Randy Savage was set to have a
1996.
match and was on his way to the ring when he got ambushed by Hawk backstage. It all started over suspicion of a wandering eye. According to
Oh,
Randy's brother Lanny Poffo, Hawk had a mistaken notion that my brother had made a pass at his wife. Now I know my brother.
now Randy
His
knew
wife
what it was like when he was doing the same
couldn't
thing about Miss Elizabeth.
possibly, because my brother, for all good things about him, is like Shallow Hal, just like me. And beauty is a high premium. And
God bless his
this
soul,
woman
too.
was well below his standards. Lanny went on to add, my brother doesn't go making passes at people's wives. Even if she were beautiful or to die for, he wouldn't do that because he was a gentleman.
Exactly.
When asked about the incident in Japan, Hawk replied, Randy got the living kicked out of him. Simple slap knocked him over. Hawk would claim that he beat up Savage. However, former WCW manager Sonny Ono, who was there when the incident
Sonny
took
Ono.
place in Japan,
There's a name I ain't heard in a long time.
Yeah.
in an interview with Hannibal TV, Ono shares, they had Randy Savage's music playing. He was one of the main event guys, you know. It might have been in the main event match. And in back of the curtain, Randy Savage and Hawk were going at it. I mean, they were going at it. They were face to face about to go, and the music hits, and he's not going out.
Yep.
At about 135 pounds, Ono had to step in between the two giants in an attempt to quell the possibility of a fight breaking out. All the while, Randy's
All from
music was playing,
1996.
and the crowd was waiting anxiously for him to walk through the curtain. Savage eventually went out to the ring and wrestled. When the match was over, Savage returned to the backstage area and went straight towards Hawk. But before things could escalate further, they were both separated.
Yep, that's Savage
Randy
for
didn't
you.
want to give his brother's side of the events that took place.
He's snorting
What
his
happened
coke.
was
He's like,
he was on his way
I'm
to
not
New
going to let
Japan,
this sit.
and they had
Hawk,
those shoots you come
you and
in.
me.
And Hawk was just joking with him.
Hawk is looking at he didn't get a butter
Randy
knife.
assumed his place before Hawk ambushed him on the way to the ring. Landy
Now,
continued.
they're saying
Randy,
Hawk
being the
ambushed,
professional that he was, took
but
the
how
fight and kept
true
walking
is
to the ring
that?
because he
We
had a
will
job
never
to
know.
do.
Right.
He did his job, and when he came back, he went there to attack Hawk before the boys split them apart.
Brawling at a Kid Rock concert. Wow. Of all the places to brawl at.
Randy never forgot anything. Admits former WWE manager.
Yeah,
Zach
Dutch is
Colton,
right, though. He
aka
never
Dutch
forgets.
Mantel. It's well known amongst those who knew Randy Savage that he was not one to forgive or forget easily. This would manifest itself when Savage and Hawk crossed paths again several years later
Oh,
at
no.
the Kid Rock concert in Tampa.
Of all
We'll
things
preface
to
this by saying
meet each other
there are
again,
different
a
versions
Kid
of
Rock
the
concert
second
ends up
encounter.
being it.
And it was either Kid
According
Rock
to Hawk,
concert or a
he knew
Waffle
Randy
House.
was gonna
That's
be at
true.
the event, so he told security
And it would have been worse
ahead
at
of
a
time
Waffle
that
House because he would grab the butter knife.
Things
Yeah.
kicked off.
And then a Hawk would have to whoop his ass with a chair.
Hawk claimed he went over to shake Savage's hand.
And then the
but
employees
Randy
get
pushed his hand
involved.
away and punched
Yep.
Hawk in the face.
And then you have to deal with cops and
Randy gave
dogs.
further
Yeah.
background into the second altercation. So you might say Hawk won the first altercation with the sucker punch. Hawk won, Randy nothing. Then they met again in Tampa. Randy saw him and attacked Hawk. This time it was 1-1, okay? But then Hawk litigated. Now,
You
since
sure
it's
about that,
Hawk,
Lanny? Were
it's
you
the
even
same
there?
time, I believe it's out of court. What happened after the punch was unclear. Hawk claimed that after he was sucker punched, he steered Savage up against a wall, and eventually security broke it up and the police arrived. However, Stephanie Bellers, aka Gorgeous George, former girlfriend
She really
and
was
valet of Randy
gorgeous.
Savage,
Yeah.
tells a different story. When she was asked about the incident, she
That
shared,
name was also
"All I
a
know is
wrestler's
Randy
name.
wanted to use the bathroom, and we were there with my sister and a girlfriend of mine. When we walked into the bathroom, we didn't even know Hawk and his wife were there."
Uh-huh.
Gorgeous George admits she didn't recognize Hawk without his face makeup on.
Huh.
And that Savage and Hawk just went
How can you
straight
not
to a
recognize
fight.
that
She
face?
continues, "They had urinals ripping off the walls, doors. Oh Lord, it was like two monsters fighting." According to Gorgeous George,
Ah, looks like it
15
sounded like it was a
security
real
guards
life
were
fight
standing
then,
around
from
and they didn't
Gorgeous
stop the fight.
perspective.
Gorgeous George also admits she got involved by whipping pop cans at Hawk's head during the strike.
What?
This led to Hawk's wife and Gorgeous George going at it too. Hawk's wife got into my sister's face and was pushing my sister. My sister's younger than
Well,
me,
that's a crazy
so you ain't
story.
doing that. We got into a fight. So you got two huge men fighting, us fighting, and nobody stopping it.
Well, according to you, Gorgeous George, y'all were inside the bathroom. How could anyone
As a
stop
result
you?
of the scuffle in the bathroom,
The one
Hawk
place
claimed
that
his
you don't
wife
go
sustained
into.
serious injury, and she hears bells all the time. He went on to call Gorgeous George a gorgeous.
Some of these things, I
trailer
don't
park
know
piece
who's
of crap
telling the
and
truth and
wicker.
who's
He also
fabricating.
stated that
You
Gorgeous
know-
George and her sister attacked his wife for no reason, and that he sued
Probably a little
Savage
bit of
over
all
what happened
three.
to his
Yeah.
wife. A few
Because
years
you
after
never
the
know,
incident,
unless the camera's on them,
Gorgeous
you
George
won't know what
spontaneously
actually
bumped into
happened.
Hawk on an
Right.
elevator. After the whole thing was done, I actually went to XWF. We were in Orlando, and I didn't even notice it, but I was in the elevator going like 15 floors up with Hawk.
With
She
Hawk.
admits to
How do
being
you not
incredibly
know what
nervous
Hawk looks like
when
without
it
his
dawned
face
on her
paint?
who she was sharing the
I mean,
elevator
it's not
with,
like his
but took the
face is
high road by turning
9%
to him to
almost
apologize
out
for hurting
there.
his wife.
And not
Hawk
too many
thought it
people
was
walking
cool
around
that
with that
she said
haircut.
Exactly.
After that, they went down to the hotel bar, got faced and made up.
And also, he's
Randy,
strong.
on the other hand, never forgave Hawk for what happened. When asked to give his opinion on Hawk, he responded, "Oh yeah, me and him don't get along at all. Anytime two guys mix it up and it ends up in court, one wrestler suing another, that's ridiculous." Randy Savage spent a great deal of money fighting the case, but with Hawk passing away in 2003, the
And yet
lawsuit
they were
was thrown
both
out.
Good wrestlers. Crazy. And yet, that's the only one. Oh, here it is.
Yep.
The Chico Scorpio
And
one.
see, this is a Chico Scorpio's point of view, so.
Yep. You gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Hawk. Take me straight from the beginning.
That's right. Take it
What source
straight
of
from the
friction
get.
was between you two guys.
Friction basically was he was buddies with Flair, and he thought that he was going to take up for Flair. Because I said, "Oh, fuck that pussy, let that pussy fly by himself," talking about Flair.
Oh my God, he hates
Hawk
Flair.
thought that he
Yeah.
would step up for him, and protect him. Says, "What did you say?" And so I had to repeat myself, and I don't know. And then
I think I
turned
get
around
it.
and repeat repeat myself.
He don't like
says,
Flair
I don't
because
know
Flair was the
what
star
the-
and he was
the,
not.
the pussy
He's good at high
or the
flying,
F that you didn't understand.
but he was
Well,
not world championship
And,
material.
Yeah, no,
after
they
that,
were
he said the
overseas,
N-word,
and
next
Flair
thing
had
you
his
know,
own
I was
private.
ass, so,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, you gotta understand though.
it is what it is. And
Flair is a star,
you know,
so if he wants a private
friends or nothing,
locker
but
room,
you ain't gonna disrespect
That
me.
will
You
happen
ain't gonna
like
whoop your
that.
ass, or we ain't gonna get into a fight. Win, lose, or draw, you gonna know your ass is gonna fight one way or the other. So.
You did a fantastic job censoring yourself where you needed to as well. You know?
yeah, but at the same
So,
time,
take me
Hawk
into,
was sick.
The actual fight itself.
Any
So,
man that's sick ain't gonna have a
segment
fighting
of Flair.
chance.
No.
You respond, defend yourself.
That would have been
You
different.
threw
They
the
were
wrestle.
both
He walked up
100%
to me,
healthy and they
he
were
threw
slug
the punch at
classing.
me and stuff. I ducked and put my tackle about 3 times.
I've only
Right
heard
on the bus and
a
stuff.
few stories where
All
wrestlers
of
actually
a
got into a
sudden,
fist fight and there was a
he
clear
steps
cut winner.
back, I step
Yeah.
back, I rip up my
But
shirt,
there's
I jump back in my
more
vest,
often than
I'm
not,
wearing
the wrestlers
suit,
either got
tie,
front face lock on,
you know, so
or they're
you know,
scared,
it's like, fuck,
or
you
they're
know, I'm
horrified,
restricted.
or
I know what I can do if I ain't
a
got my
guy's
suit on.
sick.
You know, I'm,
Right.
you know, my dad was a professional boxer. I'm
Scorpio.
a boxer, you know, did kickboxing, you know, so forth. So I had some skills in my background.
Hi,
you know,
Mom.
know how to protect myself. So,
But
I tell
see,
you, once I tapped it 2 or 3 times, Japanese boys jumped
he'd be
on
up
me.
a sick person.
He kind of held me back.
If Hawk
One
was
of the
100%,
games, he missed,
the story would have been different.
Right.
He kind of got up on top of me, was trying to throw punches, hit nothing but air. You know, as I rope-a-dope around him.
Really?
Muhammad Ali. Anyways, shit. You know, I got up.
He tried to put himself on Muhammad Ali style.
Went in and started pulling his eye, man, and I hooked it, and I was on my way out. You know, I'm pull his eye out and feed it to him. You know, I mean, shit, you know, where I come from, if you're hungry and you want something, I'm gonna give you stuff.
Scorpio.
You know, I was going after his eye, and the Japanese boys grabbed me.
I've heard enough. Scorpio sounds like he's fabricating so much of that. They can all say what they want about the World War Hawk, but you can't deny it that World War Hawk was a once in a lifetime name. Like, they all want to hate,
Yeah.
but can anyone else say that they were one part of the hottest tag teams in the world?
Right. Everywhere they went, they won tag team championships.
That's right.
Everywhere.
And they had the look of a professional wrestler, and they looked like they could whoop your ass in a bar fight. And yet, they all hate on them. Probably because they are jealous of the sheer fact of them.
Yeah.
Here's the War Games cage. We'll watch this before we go off there.
Right.
It's been a hell of a show, though.
Right.
Talking old school. Watching old schools. Look at that.
San Fatu.
That's right. They're ready for this cage. That's the old War Games cage, too.
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes was a genius when he came up with it.
Yes, he was.
And I'm glad that Triple H was a fan of Dusty Rhodes to bring back the War Games, because the War Games doesn't necessarily need a roof.
No.
All it needs is the rule that they cannot leave the cage.
Yep.
Otherwise, one team will be disqualified. A lot of people, they were hating on it, but what they don't understand is that the War Games cage doesn't necessarily need a roof. You just need that one rule. That one rule changes everything. And that's how the loopholes start, where Ultimate Warrior could leave the cage that one time
Yeah.
in WCW because there was a hole inside the cage. He could leave because he didn't climb over the cage.
Right.
So he basically was doing things right. Climbing up. He got the Hulk Hogan colors on. This man's going to Hulk out. I look, Paul Heyman. Paul Lee dangerously. Oh, look. Lex Luger. There's the man that WWE tried to make. Oh, okay, that's got to be Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Him and Billy Jack Haynes fucking look alike.
They do. They could have had a brother gimmick there.
Yeah, they could have. They could have done a tag team brother situation. Just like how the Road Warriors do it.
Yeah.
And look, we're locking up with Bobby Eaton. Oh, look at this. Bobby Eaton could have been a world champion. He had that badass leg drop off the top rope. He was one of the best tag team wrestlers. And not only that, but he could also wrestle singles competition.
Yep.
He had it all. Even Ric Flair himself said that he personally chose Bob Eaton for a wrestling match against him for the world title. That's how good Bob Eaton was.
Yep.
Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express had one hell of a tag team feud. And that helped make Bobby Eaton a household name.
Yep.
We could have had a world champion in him if they decided to. But no. No company decided that they want Bobby Eaton, who had the look, was perfect, could cut promos, to be their world champion. Even WWE didn't want to have him be their champion.
No.
I don't even think that NWA ever put a championship on him like that. Maybe a singles title, but not the world title.
No. Maybe U.S. or TV title, something
Yeah.
like that.
But I think that he was good enough to become the main champion. Because he had it all. I mean, look at him. He looks like a star. He's also got the ideal. Look at it. I like how they got this guy grabbing him by the hair. Like he can put his hand underneath and grab it.
Yep.
Oh, look. Lex Luger's talking his shit. Yeah, funny thing is that isn't that Jim Cornette that's out there as well, and
Yeah.
that's his guy, Bob Eaton. And then there's Paul Lee Dangerously, a.k.a. Paul Heyman. This is a hell of a match already. And we ain't even started the match.
Nope.
All War Games matches, the rules are the match only starts once everybody's inside cage. So you could beat the hell out of each other. And that could be the deciding factor because only the fresh man could probably get the win.
Yep.
I recently watched a War Games match at Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. It features Marty Clay versus Stan Sarah's team. Marty Clay had Bruiser Bob, Dreamweaver Wayne Moxley. He had John Noble, Zodiac, himself, versus Stan Sarah, Kyle Mack, Eric Porter, Angie Alexander, and Chris Crow. It is a hell of a War Games match
That
itself.
sounds like a hell of a match.
And Mark Clay hit a avalanche dead man's curve off the top rope. And then got busted open by Stan Sarah's bat. Because Stan Sarah was like a coward, waiting inside the corner. He knew that Mark Clay had the match won, and he was waiting just so he could hit him with that bat.
Yep.
And then he didn't even try to pin Mark Clay. You know who pinned him? Kyle Mack.
Huh.
Because he got scared to pin him. I saw that firsthand. And look at this. This also when the cage's ceiling was so low that you could reach up and grab it and jump onto it.
Yep.
Which explains why they can't do top rope moves. Oh, backbreaker. Like I said, Bob Eaton's one of the best. He whipped out that backbreaker like it was nothing. Also, this man's got style too. He's got the yellow boots, the black tights, red and yellow and blue and pink, all on the tights. This man knows what he's doing. The Midnight Express was a hell of a tag team.
Yeah.
And who's that he's wrestling right now?
That's Jimmy Garvin from the Fabulous Freebirds.
Ah, Jimmy Garvin. You know, Jimmy, you're not the most famous Freebird, though. That would be Michael P.S. Hayes
Yep.
and his fanny pack. Oh, look, he's trying to gab it. And of course, you got Paul Lee Dangerously talking his shit to his guy. Oh, we're seeing the Walls of Jericho before it's the Walls of Jericho. Boston Crab. Oh, but he's not sitting down. Come on, Bobby, you gotta sit down. Put the paint on. I like the fact that they're all outside the cage instead of inside shark cages.
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't just climb the cage, try to tear their way into the ceiling.
Right.
Terry Gordy. Is that him?
Yeah. Big old Bam Bam Gordy.
Yep. Is Michael P.S. Hayes out there somewhere?
He is. He's on the outside.
Yes, he should be because it's the Freebirds.
Yep.
Terry Gordy could have been a star too. I mean, a world champion. The guy had it. But
another guy who was in an accident and just didn't come out the other side the same.
Yep. Because he was one. There he is, Michael P.S. Hayes. Because this is before he joined WWF as
Doc
the guy.
Hendricks.
Yep. And Doc Hendricks was a good gimmick too.
Yeah.
I mean, he did whatever he was given, he turned to gold.
Yep.
And this is the Freebirds whooping on Bobby Eaton's ass. Bobby Eaton ain't got no chance unless his partner comes in that cage. Does this mean that the Rock and Roll Express are on the other side of the cage? Because if we got the Midnight Express out here, then the Rock and Roll Express should be also out there.
I don't think the Rock and Roll Express is out there.
Oh man, because that was the tag team feud of the '80s.
Yeah, I think you got the Freebirds and the Samoan SWAT team on one side, and you got Express and Road Warriors on the other.
That's true. Oh, look at that kick the gut of Bobby.
With Dr. Death Steve Williams with them.
Yep. Billy Jack Kane should have been his brother. Because look at him, it's astounding how they just look alike.
Yeah.
And he's dressed like Hulk Hogan.
Got the yellow tights, the red knee bands.
I guess he thought, well, Hulk Hogan's no longer in WWE, so I could wear this style.
Yep.
Or he's also Jim Ross's good friend. And then he got knocked out by Bart Gunn. The funny thing was that the Brawl for All was supposed to put over Dr. Death Steve Williams, legit tough man style, and he got knocked out by Bart Gunn, of all people.
Well, I mean, nobody knew about Bart Gunn's background. You know, he's a legit boxer.
Yep, and he knocked out Steve Williams like it was nothing.
Yep.
And what did he get rewarded with? Knocked out by Butterbean.
Yeah.
And Butterbean's no slouch either.
The winner gets a title shot against Stone Cold, only if it's Dr. Death. Anybody else gets Butterbean.
Yep. That was their way of punishing them for winning the competition.
Yeah.
And though nothing about that. And also, according to Russo, it was made just to see Bradshaw get knocked out. Then why the fuck was it? Then why the fuck did it have everyone else have to beat each other up for real?
Right.
If you're trying to get Bradshaw beaten up.
I did hear that story. I heard Bradshaw's side of that, and you know, it might be true that Bradshaw said something, but you know, these are also, you know, big men in a locker room talking shit.
Yeah.
You know, Bradshaw has said, gone on record, he's in the locker room with two MMA champions. He knows he's not the biggest, baddest motherfucker in that locker room.
That's true.
And if you notice, those two UFC fighters were not in the Brawl for All.
Exactly. Like, they did not have Dan Severn or Ken Shamrock inside of it.
Right.
Because they knew that those two would fuck up everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they also didn't have Steve Blackman inside of it.
Right.
A legit karate man.
That's just a testament to Vince Russo, you know. Oh, JBL thinks he's a legitimate tough guy. Okay, let's have a legitimate tough guy tournament.
And then the guy that they
and injure half our roster.
Yep, and the guy that they supposedly want to put over, Dr. Death Steve Williams, gets knocked out by Bart Gunn. And what do they do? Oh, you knocked out that guy that the storyline was built towards.
Right.
Now you're gonna take on Butterbean. And he didn't even last but 1 second.
No.
Because Butterbean, even though he's a big guy had some punching power.
You know, he might be an attraction, but Butterbean is legit. The guy is a legit boxer. He wasn't used right. You know, he got with a promoter that just looked at him for money. But I mean, the guy was a legit champion. He was a champion. He almost went up against Tyson, and I really wish he would have.
Exactly.
I think that would have been a real good fight.
It would have. Also, he had the punching power to show for it.
Yeah.
Like, people want to talk shit. He may not have had the body of a boxer.
No.
But his punching power was unmatched. Like, he punches you once, he can knock you out.
And he wasn't just throwing punches to throw punches. He was a legit boxer with legit technique.
That's right. Because you have to have technique when you're boxing. You can't just throw a punch and think that you're going to knock a guy out. You got to have the technique to wear your opponent down before you hit that strike. And Bart Gunn ended up experiencing that technique firsthand. Oh, here we go. Warrior Animals entering the cage with his classic blue face paint. Oh, Terry Gordy got thrown into him. Oh, big clothesline takes off Dr. Steve Williams.
Animal coming in fired up.
Yes, he is. Look at that. Punch in the face, elbow to the head, over the ropes. Nope, through the ropes. Oh, big clothesline takes Terry Gordy off his feet again. And that is no easy feat. And look at that. Right to the ropes again. This time going after him. Oh, big kick. And those are stiff too.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you work with the Road Warriors, you're working stiff.
You don't have a choice.
Exactly. They would have whooped on Vader's ass just like the Godwins did.
Yep.
Like everyone cried, but when the Godwins got punched real hard by Vader, they're like, oh, so we're working like that now.
Yep. That's all you had to say. Let's go to work.
Yep, don't do like what HBK did, because HBK killed his push-ass champion.
Yeah.
When he said, he hurt me, he hits too hard. And then they wrote, for some reason they wrote Vader say, I'm a big fat dumb son bitch.
Yeah.
That completely ruined everything.
Young Rikishi right there.
Yep. Very young, because this is before he ever becomes the Sultan.
Yep.
And I think this also after he was part of the Head Shrinkers. Because at the time...
This is before Head Shrinkers.
Oh, this is?
Yeah.
Then this is way early.
Yeah, this is a small SWAT team. This is way before Head Shrinkers.
Yep. Because the Head Shrinkers was in WWF.
Yep.
But look at that. He's so big that him and Terry Gordy are about staying the same size. Look at Michael P.S. Hayes. Very young, still looking. This is long before he ever becomes Doc Hendricks.
Yep.
I think this is still inside the 80s. I think about 89 or 90.
Yeah.
This is very early, still, because he got Paulie dangerously. What's up, Party Man Cam? We're just checking out some old school wrestling.
What up, Cam?
We got this old school classic War Games cage going on with the Road Warriors. And a very young Rikishi. Nice headbutt by him.
Double falling headbutt.
That's right. Hey, that move can disbobulate you. Look at that, they're stomping the hell out of him. Animal is at a loss right now because his partner's on the outside of the cage. The match does not start until they all are inside that cage. Look, as you can see, Michael P.S. Hayes is pacing. He wants in. He's ready. He's salivating at the mouth to get his son. I hear you on that, Fireman Cam. You're working third shift, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m., he said.
Damn. In the rough hours.
Yep. He got his job back at the mall.
Right on.
Oh, yeah, Joe Hinton is part of the podcast now.
Yes, sir.
Cam.
Official member.
That's right. And look at that. Oh, look at that. Bobby Eaton's coming back. Nice strikes to the gut. And a nice headbutt to catch a breather.
Yes, sir.
That's right, part man. Gotta make that bread. Oh, here we go.
Lex Luger.
Yep. I find it funny that him and Bobby Eaton are wearing the same colored tights because at this time
Yeah.
they were tag team together.
Yep.
But nothing beats the Midnight Express or the Rock and Roll Express. Look at him, he's going crazy. This is years before he becomes a narcissist.
Yep. Luger's looking pretty small here, actually.
Yep. This is
He
very
hasn't-
early inside his career.
Yeah, he hasn't put on all that muscle mass just yet.
Look at Michael P.S. Hayes. Him and Paulie Dangerous coming up with a strategy. And Warrior Ammo is not yet, a Hawk has not entered that cage yet.
No.
And Michael P.S. Hayes is the only one left inside of his team. Until they all enter that cage, it is not official. At this point, it's just a mauling. Every man's beating the hell out of each other until that bell rings. Are you coming, Hawk? Animal needs his man.
Yep.
Also, I remember that one time, Luger and Bruce Brody, they were inside a cage and Bruce Brody just stopped working. It wasn't because he was mad at Luger. He's mad at the promoter. So he just stopped working with him. Luger was beating the hell out of him, and Brody just stopped, and he just stood there. Whole match, Luger's looking around, he's looking at the ref, he's like, what's he doing? So they told Luger, just climb out. Because Bruiser Brody wasn't going to do anything. If Bruiser Brody didn't want to work, he wasn't going to work.
Well,
He's one of those guys that's like, if you piss me off, then I'm going to show you what for. And he embarrassed the company
yep.
on purpose. So you just know, anytime he's inside a cage, Luger has PTSD. Oh, look at this. Michael P.S. Hayes is inside this ring whooping ass and taking names. He's hitting DDTs on everyone. But you know it has to be hard to work with a ceiling that low, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't lift the guy too high for a suplex. You can't go up to the top rope and try to jump off.
No.
And right now, the only man left for Team World Warriors is Hawk.
Once Hawk enters the ring, the match can finally begin.
That's right. Which is a good rule because that means that right now what we're watching is a mauling.
Yeah.
Every man's beating the hell out of each other, and by the time the match does start, they're all going to be worn down.
Yep.
Look at Animal. Just laid out inside a corner. He's thinking to himself, why the fuck isn't Hawk in here already? And he's getting worked over by a young Rikishi. Oh, look at that spin kick by Luger. We've never seen him do that before.
No.
I guess.
That's one of those things he crossed off of his repertoire. He's like, that
Yep.
move doesn't fit me. That's not a Lex Luger move. Just because I can do the move doesn't mean I should do the move.
Exactly. Because you're testing it out, and if it don't fit you, don't do it. A lot of guys on the independents, though, they see it on TV, they're like, I could do that move. And then when they do the move, they fuck it up within 1 second.
Yep.
And it becomes the funniest thing. Here we go. Hawk's entering, and it is official. The official match has begun. And it starts out with a clothesline from Hawk to Rikishi and his brother. Oh, now he's whooping on Terry Gordy's ass. Terry Gordy is crying. I can hear it. Dr. Depp and Hawk just took him off his feet. Oh, big clothesline from Animal inside a ring. And this match has officially begun, too. Whoever gets the win is going to get the win.
This is a hell of a concept for a match. I don't know how Dusty came up with it, but I'm glad he did.
It is. I think what inspired him was the Mad Max Thunderdome movie. He said that he watched it. He came up with this ideal of this cage surrounding two rings. And as he went along, that's when the match started forming and became what we know today as the War Games cage. So if he hadn't watched Mad Max's Thunderdome, he wouldn't have gotten inspired to
But
with this match.
But anybody else, I mean, that's okay. But anybody else, you got the cage over the ring. But anybody else says everybody's in the ring at once and just go. The bell rings and you go. Anybody else, that's how it goes. But Dusty's like, no, they're gonna come in one at a time, and it don't start until everybody's in.
Exactly, because that's what's called war games. Because it's got to start out with them one at a time coming in until every man's inside that cage. And the Hell in a Cell is partly inspired by this cage.
Oh yeah.
You could tell because it was a cage with a roof.
Yep.
And the Elimination Chamber is basically inspired by the war games as well. Because Triple H realized that they wasn't going to let him bring the war games concept into the WWE, so he came up with the Elimination Chamber as a workaround.
Yep.
And it has the same exact concept.
Yes,
The match doesn't officially start until every man has exited that pod. Then you got the match starting. And they've only done 1 or 2 tag team elimination chambers ever.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the win here will win for the team. Yeah, here we go. Oh, they're setting up for do something about it, but look at how bad it is. The fact that Hawk has to bend down just to hit a Doomsday Device clothesline.
I know some of these indie guys know how that feels.
Yep.
Them low ceilings.
Yep. Oh, look at that neck breaker. Classic neck breaker from Hawk. That's something that we all
There's another
miss.
one.
Oh, the Hangman.
Oh.
The Hangman. He's choking him. If he gives up, it's over. Oh, it's over.
Good.
Yep, they won. Hawk's team has won thanks to that submission. Hell of a War Games match.
Yes, sir.
That Hangman's submission right there was the deciding factor. Oh, yeah, I remember. There was no pitfalls allowed at this time.
No.
Only submission. So it makes sense for them to win with the Hangman.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Oh, they got Animal Trap.
Yep, they're beating the hell out of the Animal. They don't care that they lost. Oh, look at Dr. Death. He's trying to climb. Lex Luger's trying to climb as well. Lex Luger wants in. He get PTSD. He sees Terry Gordon and he sees Bruiser Brody just stopping in the middle of that ring. Animal is dead at this point. That's the only way that they could do it. Oh, headbutt the Animal.
Oh, Hawk busted through the door.
Yes, he did. And now they're going for him. Hey, where your guys going? Because there's no other door, just the one behind them. Well, folks, we hope that you've enjoyed tonight's look back to the past of old school professional wrestling. It's been a hell of a year for 2024 for the NiceGuyAndy podcast. We brought in new team members. We've had great moments all year long. And tonight was all about paying respects to the old school WWF, WCW, Dusty Rhodes concepts. Also the old school Road Warriors. And it's been a hell of a night. Any last words, brother?
Oh, man, thank you for the opportunity to bring me on as a member, the full-time member now. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Andy. All the other members from the NiceGuyAndy podcast. Much love for bringing me on. Johnny, thank you for another invite.
That's right, brother.
And can't wait for 2025 has in store for us.
Hell yeah, brother. Guys, I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in tonight. It's been 3 hours that we've been on. Started at 7, and now we're just now ending. But it's been a hell of a show because we've been watching some old school, paying respects to what helped wrestling come to be the thing that we know and love. And guys out there that's young and new to the business, stop trying to do what you see on TV. Because more often than not, what you see on TV, you're not going to do.
Just
because
it got them over doesn't mean it's going to get you over.
Exactly. Your moveset has to fit what you do. You have to have your own personality. Don't do what you see done on TV because that's their personality. Your job is to find out what you think fits your character, your abilities, and what you can do. That is sound advice to hold. Because there's a lot of wrestlers out there that try to do what they see on TV and don't let the fans breathe. Take the time to understand that less is more, because that allows the fans to finally go, I can get behind this guy. I can see behind this guy. That's my guy. Just remember, professional wrestling is art. Don't butcher that.
That's right.
And if you're not having fun, you ain't getting none. Damn, Skippy.